This is the M Zone.
And welcome to the M Zone. Jamie Morris, Matt the Hitman Missler, the only guy in the business. And you got the center of attention, the big guy himself, moved himself back out to the West Coast in 4 days and 5 hours and 16 minutes.
Lovely day, lovely day, lovely day.
Oh, Big Sweet. Who's lying more, me or Johnny Morton? John Morton says, I fully support Dan Campbell's decision to take over as the Lions play caller. Who's lying more? Is it me?
Because I want to keep my job.
He just took that contract.
You know what?
Yeah, he's trying to keep his job. I get it.
They left the phrase out where Johnny Morton says, because I want to keep my job.
Well, after watching the Lions play in one of their best games of the season, offensive coordinator John Morton says he fully supports Dan Campbell's decision to strip him of the play calling duties. So he is admitting he's all right with getting stripped of calling the plays.
Well, remember, that's not how it was originally dictated to. It was a collaborative effort, if I remember well. And so now he's been stripped. We didn't hear it that way the other day. Right? Am I right?
You're right. I mean, look. John, he's fully in support of it, obviously. I mean, you can't say, hey, man, I'm supposed to make these calls. No.
That's what I'm saying. He want to keep his job. And long as the deposits are continuing, long as the deposits don't decrease, we're okay. Now, if they want to come back and renegotiate my salary or something because of it, then I might have an issue. But, hey, he's the head coach, and it looks as if the move was a very successful one. So no one can question it at this point.
So do you think Dan Campbell really is going to call the plays the rest of the year? He's going to finish up as the offensive play caller?
He might make the last official call before they, send it into the huddle. But I really do believe it's still a collaborative effort between, he and John Morton and that whole scenario. So, but Dan is the one that's going to veto or say, hey, okay, let's go with that. I think that's what's more or less happening. Then now, John Morton may be the guy to say, hey, let's run, toss 18 straight or whatever the call is. Mm-hmm. And Campbell will have the right to veto it or say, no, let's go with, 18, whatever, another play. And then, so I think that's what's going on. Morton will still be involved and probably initiate the thought process, and Dan will veto it or send in a play that he would like better.
The mic goes out of the ear at 15 on the clock.
Well, does it?
When there's 15 seconds left on the clock,
they
cut
it out.
Clock, the 30-second clock.
Okay,
it goes out. So you got to get it in before then. So you got to be talking fast and getting after it, because Dan Campbell, the one that Amon-Ra St. Brown, he scored his touchdown and did his dance or whatever he did. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Dan was cussing because he didn't think he got the play fully in there, but Goff knew what he meant. Goff knew what he was trying to say.
Right.
So he called the right play. That was the play they wanted. Amon-Ra came across the middle, caught that pass, and went in for the touchdown. And that's why they were slapping high fives and everything, not because Dan Campbell's called the play, but Jared Goff finished it and said he knew what to call because he knew what Dan was saying.
Yeah, that was that play to J-Mo. It was that one where he did the quick slant inside and then took it on into the end zone. Yeah. So, and as well as I know, when the sideline does something or calls something that worked, right there. Everybody's happy, everybody's elated, and you get the high fives all going all over the place. So but that's the beauty and the maturity of where the Lions are now when it comes to play calling and the various people and Jared Goff. I think he's that the differentiator now, and he can get in the huddle and wave something off or finish it, like you said, finish it when it was incomplete. And I think that's the seniority or the beauty of Jared Goff.
No, it's. We said it was time for Jared Goff to be off when Ben Johnson left. It was time for Jared Goff to, fly on his own wings, and that's one of those things. But look, I'm just gonna say this. I mean, it could be pride, it could be whatever, but you remember, this man is the offensive coordinator. He was pointed out as the offensive coordinator. He's no longer the offensive coordinator. He's just a common quarterback coach now. He's just a quarterback coach.
Yeah, well, like I said, there sometimes you gotta swallow a little pride, and sometimes you gotta eat a little dirt. And long as the deposits and the direct deposits hadn't changed, okay, I'm good.
I guess my whole thing is Morton has the Lions are 6-3. The Lions are 6-3 under John Morton. That's what I'm saying.
Right.
They didn't score a lot of points. They failed to top 24 points in their 3 previous games before then. And I get it. Dan Campbell, what did he do, Miz? Get the hell out of there. I got this.
But you know what? I go back to what I said the other day. There is a difference if you're in that huddle and the play is coming from the head coach versus an assistant, coach who was an offensive coordinator. When the head coach calls the plays, I think that there's a little bit more emphasis in that huddle on the play because the head coach called it. And maybe that's the difference. They're running the same plays they've always practiced and all that, but so what's the difference now? I think there's a little bit more incentive when the play is coming in from the head coach versus an assistant coach.
Yeah, I gather that. I can believe that. But he did get 2 of the most important people into the offense into the game that hadn't been involved all season long.
Good
Jameson
point.
Williams and Jahmyr Gibbs. Both of them starting playing some. They became great players. They showed what the Lions re-signed them for. You know what I'm saying? Go ahead.
So take that. So Campbell could have done it one of 2 ways. He could have went to John Morton and said, "Damn it, I want more. You better, get J-Mo and what's the name involved, Gibbs, more involved in it." Or he said, "I'm going to make sure that they get involved because I'm going to do it myself."
Yeah.
Right?
He did. Wait a minute. Didn't John Morton apologize to Jameson Williams at one time during the season and said, "I'm sorry, I got to get him more into the game plan. I got to get him the ball more." Jahmyr Gibbs is starting. He's starting in the game. He's out there balling right now. But they couldn't get him in. They couldn't get the running game going. All of a sudden, and remember, we were a disaster when it was against Minnesota. Minnesota, we couldn't run, we couldn't pick up the blitz, we couldn't do anything. So all of a sudden, you're saying because Dan Campbell takes over, they had a sense of urgency, and they started blocking and doing. Or was it just the Commanders? The Commanders they're a weak team. They don't have their leader like they had last year. They're not the team that they were last year. They have an older defense last year. Of that. So that's
I think it's a combination of the two. I do think that Dan Campbell making the calls is something different, and then I do think Washington is weaker than we all expected. Now, but let me bring this thought up. At the beginning of the season, when we had to replace the coach that went to Chicago,
mm-hmm.
did we all really, really, really think that we were not going to have some kind of a letdown, some kind of reduction from him, from play calling, that we weren't going to skip a beat, and or were we going to get better?
Well, a lot of us thought that this is a veteran group now. They understand what they need to do. Some of us thought that because the coordinators left, that hey, maybe they're going to lose something. You know what I'm saying? They may not be there. But some of us thought this is a veteran group. They understand how to get there. Remember, I told you about Jim Harbaugh and the 49ers. When they made it to the playoffs, Jim Harbaugh was still browbeating them. We got to do this because he didn't go to the Super Bowl that year. So we got to do this. And they said, Coach, you got to calm down. We know how to get there now.
Right.
You got to calm down. We know how to get there.
So continually thinking, okay, look at when we lost our coordinators,
mm-hmm.
me as one didn't think that the offense was going to just not lose stride or something, that we were going to be down a little bit. But now let's go to the other side of the ball. My man seems to have the defense playing just as good or better than
I think they're better. I think the defense is better. Yes, I think Dan Campbell does not have a problem with the defense. The defense is flying around making plays, and even with guys going down, those guys they bringing in, they making plays.
Exactly. So now with that same theory, you have to look at the offense and say maybe Morton is somewhat of a little letdown from Ben Johnson. And so the head coach has to step in now to try to get us back up to that par.
But I mean, remember, Ben Johnson and John Morton are two different people. Even though they installed this offense in the same guy, you got to get your groove. You got to let this man get his groove.
Exactly, and he that's what you're saying. He hadn't got time.
I get it. But really, they're winning games. They're still running the rock. They're still throwing the ball. I mean, yes, you're two big missiles, and I'm calling them big missiles. You're two big missiles that are they take the top off the defense. They're not getting their share, but guess what? You're still winning.
So are you saying that he did this move a little prematurely then?
I think he wanted these two missiles to blow up right now. He look at. It's time to explode. He wanted to make this happen, and he triggered it. He didn't tell anybody he was going to do this. I think it caught everybody by. I don't think he told any. He didn't tell John Morton. He didn't tell Jared Goff. He didn't tell anybody he was going to take over the play calling. He just said, "Bring me the script over here. I'm taking over." That's exactly what he did.
Like I said, I go back to my other question then. Why didn't he just go to John Morton and say, hey, I need to see more involvement from J-Mo and Gibbs out of you?
I think he did say that. That's why John Morton apologized to Jameson Williams, saying, I need to get him involved. He kept saying, I need to get him. Now, he didn't say anything to Jahmyr Gibbs because Jahmyr Gibbs was starting.
Right.
Okay. So he's been playing. He's been doing some stuff. He's exhibit his talents. I'm saying J-Mo wasn't doing what he was supposed to do. They just re-signed J-Mo to a big contract, kept him here. You got to let that young man go, and they didn't. And he couldn't wait no longer. Dan Campbell could not wait any longer. So what I'm saying to you is he ain't tell nobody what he was going to do, but to not embarrass him,
right.
He said a collaborative effort. A collaborative effort.
Let me bring up another angle. I got my executive hat on. Brad Holmes could have said, "Hey Dan, hey, we just paid that dude. We need more production out of him. You know, hey, he just got paid. That like you hear. Did you hear Skipper's comment or what's the defensive coordinator's name?
Kelvin.
Shepard. Did you see Kelvin's press conference when they were talking about the signing of Aiden? He said, "Hell, he owns half the building now. We need to, we need to really get, some stuff out of him now." And
that's my next ask. Does he he needs to bring his game to another level now.
Yeah.
I mean, he's playing at an extraordinary level, but now
he needs to be
he needs to be the LT of this century. You know what I'm saying? He needs to be on top of his game. And he's done well. I'm not trying to say he hasn't done his job because he's got all kinds of pressures. He's done his job, but now you got to be that guy. You got to be him now. You are him.
Well, like I said, I wonder if Brad Holmes went to Dan Campbell and say, "Okay, I did my part." Now, he's paid as if he's I don't know what ranking. He's the third best, highest paid receiver, fourth best. We need to get that kind of productivity out of him now. So I've seen that happen before too, where after doing a big contract, that's where management gets involved. General managers that usually are sometimes on top of their game, and they have that rapport with their coach. Hey, dude, I did my part. It's on you now, man. You get the most out of that dude now. We didn't pay him to be what he was before, So I've seen that happen too. I bring up a funny story. Back in the day when we gave Robert Porsche that big contract, and we played the first 2 games or something. Robert had okay games, nothing extraordinary. And Ron Hughes, our old player personnel director, you got to have known Ron Hughes. Ron Hughes was old school to his core, straight shooter, fun-loving guy. All the players loved him. But one day I walked in early in the morning, and Ron Hughes had Robert Porsche hemmed up in the locker. "Okay, now we did our part. It's on you now. You and Robert was like, "Okay, I get it, Ronnie." And Ronnie was pointing fingers, halfway joking but halfway serious. "Come on, Robert. Now we did our part. You get paid." And Robert was like, "Okay, I get it, Ronnie. I'll do it." It was kind of funny. So that could be what's going on with Aiden.
Arguably, this is the best Lions team in history, and it's the richest. And
it's definitely the richest.
Definitely the richest. What I'm saying to you is, it's time to get to the next level.
Absolutely. I agree 1,000%.
They got the Philadelphia Eagles, right?
Right.
Yeah. Sunday night.
And if they don't win that game, I'm just going to say this. If they don't win that game, if they lose anyway, they ain't the best team in the NFC. Now, I ain't saying the Eagles are the best team in the NFC. I'm saying the Rams are the best team in the NFC right now, because it's going to switch. And right now, it's switching all over the place. You can't tell me who the best team in the AFC is. Can one of you? And don't say Denver Broncos.
Indianapolis Colts.
You still think?
Well,
yes.
Okay.
Jamie, who 7-2 Rams.
Yeah.
7-2 Seahawks.
See, I don't believe in the Seahawks still. They ain't played nobody yet. They stayed in the West so bad. They ain't played nobody yet.
My brother-in-law would kiss you on the cheek, man. He's the biggest Ram fan on the planet. He and I argue all day, every day about the Rams. He's a season ticket holder. He loves his Rams.
Lions fans would be mad at me right now because they know who's over there, quarterback and that Ram team. I'm just telling you.
Well, I saw something the other day that showed the top two quarterbacks in the league right now.
Mhm.
They think are Stafford and Jared Goff. So that was a heck of a trade, a heck of a thought between Brad Holmes and Kevin out here. What's Kevin's last name? His dad was a big UCLA guy. Kevin Demoff of the Rams.
Yeah, it was a good trade between both teams.
Yeah.
Think?
Yeah.
You think? I guess. And Miz, you're right. The Indianapolis Colts, I did forget about them, and I should not put them out as outliers. They are the best team. They play good defense too.
Or you could also petition in.
Don't do it. Don't do it. Go ahead.
Okay, then I won't.
No, I'm just asking.
You want me to finish my damn statement, or what the team that could be playing tonight on Thursday Night Football? The Pats.
Wow.
Yeah, they're up there.
I don't know what.
He got his Wheaties.
Is that what you call it? Because I call it getting ball coach going in there and probably clanking some heads, saying, "If you don't get your what together, cut your ass real quick."
But you know what though. These players today are different, and they can respect that kind of talk coming from someone who's been there, done that. Versus, I'm a firm believer.
That. I'm gonna reverse it for you now.
Okay.
Same coach, same type of coach, different color coach. Last year. Okay,
yeah.
He played there. He was a linebacker there. He was in that era. Bill Belichick coached him. All of that. He wasn't a coach. He wasn't a coach before. He was a assistant coach. Now, dude, I get what you're saying because this man was down in Tennessee, and he was getting the job done down there, and he didn't have that type of quarterback. I get what you're saying, but he did have a running back. He had the Duck King.
That's a good point, but I'm yeah.
So that, and everybody, I guess they respect. I get the whole respect. They respect Vrabel because he was a head coach,
right.
And the other coach was not a head coach; he was the assistant coach, and they just moved him up. And look, if you're going to play for him or you're not going to play for him. The Patriots, they decided to play for this one. Vrabel, they play for.
So with that being said, it's not only enough to have a former player, you got to find the right former player.
Yes. If they're gonna follow you, look at Dan Campbell is a man unique himself.
Yeah,
because he's a man who shocked these guys into, and we can all go back in history and talk about the kneecap conversation, everything when he came in, but it looked like he spoke the truth the whole time. He showed us what he was all about.
Yeah.
True grit. We're gonna build this team like the city itself. And he ingratiated everybody. And that's why this team is successful. And he's gonna hit, and he knows when to turn it up and when to turn it down.
That's a great point. Because I am a firm believer that someone, I guess the way to narrow it down is it takes one to know one, kind of thing. But I think now, let's dissect it to say it's got to be the right one.
Right. It's got to be the right one. If it's not, I mean, look, I think Aaron Glenn will be a great coach. Just doesn't have a quarterback, a team that's organized. They've got to rebuild all the pieces. That's why they traded away everybody.
Right.
The Jets reset. It's called the hard reset. I mean, I hope they gave him 3 more years on his contract. I don't profess to know that they did.
That's the delicate thing now. You might have to rebuild, but on the other hand, you got to win now or they're ready to get rid of you. You don't have time to sit back.
They want. Wait a minute. The Jets fans are now blaming him for the rebuild. They're blaming Aaron Glenn didn't come in with the plays. Now Ben Johnson, he's winning over in Chicago. Believe it or not, they're winning. So Ben Johnson looks like a better choice than Aaron Glenn. I'm just saying.
So what? Why is that? What's the differentiator?
Could be talent. I mean, it could be that. It could be. I mean, the Jets have been the team in the past few years that we've seen that they, they're spinning their tires in the mud.
Yeah.
Chicago at least gone out.
Using Jamie's theory, Chicago does have a number one pick at quarterback.
Mm-hmm.
They did go out and firm up, some other positions on the O-line and receivers for him, so, so
what?
we all know you can't win without a quarterback. We all know that.
My buddy Nick Baumgardner from The Athletic is coming on the next segment. So let's bring him on this conversation and ask him all of these wonderful things that we've been looking through.
Yeah, because I've got some major questions because the Wednesday injury list, I don't know if it's been updated as of yet.
Right.
I've got a lot of questions for our boy Nick Baumgartner because there are a lot of eyebrow-raising injuries that did not practice yesterday, and I got to find out if they practiced today.
All of that on the other side. You're listening to the M Zone on the Big 1050.
That might be the NFL's way of having load management.
Yeah, buddy, that's what that is. I'm just looking at it right now.
Hey.
What's going on, fellas?
It's crazy.
Hey,
How are you?
Good. Yeah, this is a load management situation, Miz. This got to be. Look at all these guys. Aiden's on here. You'd have to cut Aiden's elbow off for him not to play in a game.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Panay, Sewell's on there. They just didn't practice the other day.
No, they didn't go out.
Right.
Exactly.
It was cold, right? That was a cold day.
That's why they didn't practice. They didn't practice because it's cold. It was freezing out there.
They went inside and the backups ran laps, probably, or something. I don't know.
Refresh my memory. Teams get 2 buys now, right? Or 1?
No. Just the one.
Just 1? Okay.
Yeah. College, you'll get 2.
That's in college. They get two buys.
Okay.
They get 2. That's load management too.
Yep.
Load management, which is fine. Makes a longer year, but that's fine. I feel like the NFL probably should get 2, honestly. If you're going to have this 20-game, 19-20, all this stuff.
Really coming.
Exactly.
Like the Lions last year. Remember the Lions last year, what was it, like week 5 or 6 they had their bye. And then they had to go the rest of the way.
Last year.
And you got to like week 13 and you were like, man, this is brutal. Like they could have used one more week in there.
Yeah.
Somewhere,
And 17 games is no joke, man.
No. And I think people don't realize what 1 week can do for some of these guys. They're tough dudes, like not to say that they're going to heal all the way, but 1 week can do a lot for some of these guys.
That's why I don't think we see the best football until like you start around week 5, week 4, 5, 6. That's when they are back there, and using Jamie's word, that's when they're calcified. And, they've gone through the rigors, like back in our day, we had, 4 weeks of training camp, two a days, so when the season started, we were ready for pro football,
Realtor.
I'll tell you though, the Lions are one of the few teams that hit as much as they hit in practice. They hit all year.
Yeah.
And they hit more in camp than I think just about anybody. But it's part of why they play the way they do. But yeah, I think that they always feel like they're more ready when the season starts. But then last year they got all hurt. So
yeah. At the end,
that's why. Yeah, I mean,
well, the year before they weren't though. So I mean,
there's a fine line that coaches got to find with their team on how much to work on. I remember back in the day. You remember how the Lions, we used to go on some nice year-end runs, 6 out of the last 8 games.
Yeah, at the end of the year, yep. Mm-hmm.
And everybody would say, well, why is that? That's because Wayne took it easy on everybody, in the latter part of the season, and they were able to muster up some energy to get things done.
Yeah. When the other side is not doing that. That often happens too, late in the year like that, yeah. Yeah, I mean, I think that it's this definitely seems like a load day. That's a good question, but that's a lot of guys. My God, that they had out.
Yeah, that's
if he really hurt. Little bumps and
Well,
bruises.
I'm sure they are. Like, I'm sure Sewell's got a bunch of stuff going on.
Well,
But, I mean,
the
way.
That's the legal way of giving them some time off.
Yeah, give them a day off.
Have an injury listed next to the name. That's
right.
the part that kind of raises an eyebrow with me. Like, if you put rest, I ain't gonna think twice about it. But when you got Hutch
Legitimate
and Elbow
stuff.
next to each other,
Ooh,
eyebrow raised.
yeah.
Well, you got some of the like Davenport's practicing.
Sam Laporta,
Miles Frazier's practicing,
side by
limited
side.
practice.
Eyebrow raised.
Mm-hmm.
Kirby Joseph not being back is still an eyebrow raised.
That one still
that's
blows
got to
my
get cleared up
mind.
at some point. Yeah. Well, he dealt with that all camp and then didn't sit out, and then now it's flaring
Finally
up.
catching up to him.
Yeah, he didn't want to sit out. He got all that money, probably right, and wanted to.
Right. That's what happened.
I think it's adding up now. Yep. Because he can't. It's been through. How many games he missed now? 3 plus the bye. 2.
Yeah,
2
I
plus
think
the bye.
this is, this would be.
So it's been a minute now. Maybe he's getting close to a
I
month.
know it's 3.
Yeah.
I can't remember if he played again in the Bucks game or not.
I mean, they miss him too, man. That's.
If I'm Dan Campbell, I tell J-Mo, quit all that damn flipping and all that kind of stuff, man.
Yeah, he's terrible at it too. He can't land.
We don't need all that, man. Calm down. You
Hurt his back.
He can't do it either. He cannot do it. You can't do it. So stop trying, man. Like you're gonna hurt yourself. Exactly.
he don't stick the landing.
No, never. He's always out in front, falls down every time.
Coming around, no handstands, no headstands, bro.
No headstands. Nope. No more.
No headstands, none of that.
Oh.
All right, we're coming back from break. Stand by.
This is the M Zone.
And welcome back to the M Zone. Jamie Morris, Matt the Hitman Missler, the best guy in the Bizzler. You got Big Sweet on the left coast living the lifestyle that he so desires. And joining us, Nick Baumgardner from the Athletic. Touchdown Detroit Lions. Nick,
up,
I'm gonna let Miz get after you right now because he's got questions.
Let's do
Nick,
it.
what the heck is going on with all these injuries, bro? Like, the reason why I say this, and I'll let you rebuttal here in a second. One of your colleagues that also works the beat for the Detroit Lions, Dave Burkett, I'm sorry, had released what the injury or the practice report was from yesterday. Now, I don't know if it's been updated as of yet, but allow me to bring up who has been limited in practice and no practice, and I need you to answer a lot of questions for me here, okay? Limited in practice, DJ Reed. We know he's coming off of I believe off of IR, if I'm not mistaken. Jacob Sailors, back injury. Josh Pascal, just a continuation of injury, it seems like. Mm-hmm. Pat O'Connor, knee injury. Mm-hmm. Graham Glasgow, back injury. Miles Frazier, knee injury. Marcus Davenport, just coming off of the IR. Right. Taylor Decker, shoulder. Not surprised there. Hey, it has been one of those guys that, listen, we don't want to break him. We don't want to break him. That's all. Mm-hmm. The no practice ones. Brock Wright, tight end, ankle. Running back, Sione Vaki, ankle. Penei Sewell, ankle. Sam Laporta, back. Kirby Joseph, we've known this for a bit, knee injury.
Right.
Marion Arnold, concussion. But the one that has got me going, I'm sorry, pump the brakes. We got to put exclamation points on this one. 097, Aiden Hutchinson, no practice, elbow injury. Nick, explain to me like I'm a 5-year-old. What the hell is going on?
I think this might have been the Lions version of a load management afternoon here. Might have been a cold day and some guys needed a rest. And it is November. It's mid-November. Right. So I'm gonna guess that Penei Sewell, Sam Laporta, Aiden. I know Aiden Hutchinson's playing. He already told Burkett that don't worry about it. Those 3 guys, and then maybe even Brock Wright are probably all going to play, and they just get the time off because Dan gives them the time off. Now the rest of the guys that are limited, some of these guys are coming back off injury, and I think it might be a similar deal with like Decker, like you talked about, Miz. Like, he's older, so you give him some limited time. But a guy like Taylor, I don't know if he wants to shut all the way down, if he can work, because if his body gets, stiff, same with Graham Glasgow. So it could be, I don't doubt that they're all dealing with something, but Campbell does this. He'll put guys on the injury report and leave them on there, and they'll be on there the rest of the year, but they'll play, like they'll be on. As long as they're not out by like Friday, if they're out there playing Friday, like I think Sewell last week was on the report until Friday, and then he was fine.
To me, it's also kind of like a reverse of strategy. He put all these names on there, so week to week, you don't really know who's really hurt or who isn't, and might be a reversal, a good smart move of reversal of strategy.
Yeah. It's also that time of year too, right? Where it's like, typically you're going to hit less, you're going to go tighter with your practices, and you're just going to give guys time off. The guys that you like, Sewell and Aiden have just never been on the list. I think that's jarring. Penny has actually been dinged up, so that's kind of a real thing. But that might be a jarring thing, and I think we've talked about this too with Hutchinson. I know Jamie, we've talked about it. Like he's got adjusting his game a little bit, and then they have to find ways to take a load off of him sometimes, because he's a guy who, if he's like a guy, like a dog chasing after a deer. It's not going to stop. Like he will not stop if he, so you got to tell him pull back. Like you got to rest sometimes. So I bet that's part of it too with him. It's probably not nothing, but it's probably an injury that he would have otherwise worked through in another year and just never bothered to have it on the report. And now they're saying
you got another factor in there, and Jamie and I talked about it before the show. He's now paid to be the man, and so he's got it's a fine line between how much you work him and when you let him be the man, and when you can back off, and that whole thing. The man deserves. When you need the man to be there to show up, because he's been paid now.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and I think they got enough guys too that you trust.
Yeah,
like a lot of these guys are guys like Kirby Joseph. That's that's lingering for sure. That's bothersome that's still on there. And then Terrion had the concussion, so we don't know. But the rest of the guys, you trust them. Like you trust Panay Sewell and Aiden Hutchinson are the type of guys that's like if they don't practice Wednesday, Thursday, and then they run around a little bit on Friday and Saturday, you're going to trust them to be fine because they're going to go, and they do it every single time that they're asked. So I think that'll happen as the year goes on here, as you get into December a little bit.
So you're telling me to come off the ledge,
okay.
not maybe back
this is still
3.
If this is still happening by tomorrow at this time, then maybe DEFCON it up a little bit with some of those guys.
I tell you, sometimes Jamie, it could be an old vet move, man. I remember my second year in the league, I backed up a guy, man. On Monday he could barely walk. On Tuesday he get treatment. On Wednesday he's on the sideline. Thursday he loosens up a little bit. Friday he's kind of cool. Saturday he makes the trip, and Sunday he starts.
Right.
Plays just fine. Yeah.
They did that with a lot of the hogs on the offensive line for the Redskins.
Oh, yeah.
We did that. We did a lot of
Especially
that.
when you get to this time of year, right, Jamie? Like it's
so
late.
This time of year.
You got this time of the year. You know what it means. But Nick, what I want to know, and I've been trying to get it from Miz and trying to get it from Big Sweet, but now I'm coming right to the source right here.
All right, let's do it.
The man got stripped of his title. He ain't the offensive coordinator. He ain't calling no plays no more. What the hell's going on? I mean, look, you hired him as the offensive coordinator. You got to give him some time. He's 6-3 as the play caller. You strip him of it. You don't give him a reason why. He's got to come out and keep a bright and smiley face. Yeah, it's what we had to do. Dan had to get in there and make sure we had some explosive plays, because obviously I'm there. I'm still going to be there. It's a collaborative effort. You know
who this reminds me of, Jamie? You know who this sounds like? It sounds like old James Harbaugh when he was here and doing this stuff. You remember these years where it would be Jim Jebno never called any plays. That was all Jim. He was the guy that helped him organize. And here's the deal. And I've said this all week, people. I think, and John Morton has worked for Jim, and he's worked for Sean Payton. Sean Payton's another one of the same type of guys who's always called his own offense.
He's going to call his offense.
And he likes to have everybody on the phones, and it's chaotic and everything, but he loves it. And I think that Dan Campbell, that's what he wants to do. And I think that the other part of this too, that I could go one of two ways. I think this could be something that he's the play caller for a long time. For the rest of the year, or maybe even into the future. Okay. And John Morton is the guy that helps him organize and is there with him as his, like, consigliere, if you want to call it that. He's a pretty egoless guy. The other thing I could see happening now is this, because this happened the first year that they were here. He took the thing away from Anthony Lynn, right?
Yep,
and then he called the rest of the season, about like 9-10 games himself. And that's when that offense started to build up and start to get better. And he said, this is what I want. Told Ben Johnson at the time, this is what if you can duplicate what I want, what I've shown you, you're the OC. He did. And then Ben evolved it, and away we go. Dan's problem, I think, was that Morton hadn't been with the Lions were way more up on play action this past week. All the stuff that they used to do, they varied the run stuff a lot more. And it was their most efficient game of the year. So I almost wonder, too, if Dan calls a couple weeks, sets the table for Morton back up and gives it back to him. I mean, that could happen, too. I don't know. But I know those two guys are tight. And, I don't think it's going to be an issue between those two. Publicly, obviously, it's not an easy thing. But it's also why Dan's a good coach, too, Jamie, because they were not playing to their standard, and they did last week. And I think that's a big
play to that standard. That standard was outstanding. So
you got their attention.
You can't complain. You can't complain about it because he got it done.
Well, part of my theory, Nick, Jamie and I were talking about as well. There's a difference when the plays are coming in from the head coach versus an assistant, coach.
Yep.
Right?
Yeah, and I think that's part of the, guys' ears perk up on that Monday after that loss when he says, I'm calling the plays now. Oh, okay. Okay. We got problems or something. We got to shape up here. I mean, that gets people's attention. It's not a business as usual.
Exactly.
And it can't be. And I think that's the standard that he's trying to set in terms of if you're not playing up to our level that we've set for ourselves, it's not acceptable. And we're not going to be okay with it.
I guess he didn't have a problem with the defense, huh?
He didn't have a problem with the defense, but he also doesn't have another guy to call plays.
Right.
It is what it is. It's one of those deals where you can only do so much, right? But
I get it. I'm just saying. I mean,
it can be tighter too, though. Yeah.
I can't blame him. I can't blame him. I'm the head coach. I'm responsible, and hey, I'm gonna do whatever I got to do to make my team move. What the best that they can be. Yeah.
Yeah, and I think it's also an example of him being able. I don't even necessarily know if it was a problem, like you say, Jamie. I mean, they'd won 5 games. They're scoring almost 30 points a week. Yeah. It wasn't like they weren't playing well, but I think this is where Dan Campbell's really good, and this is where all your great coaches throughout time have been great. It was a problem that he spotted before it became one, and he's adjusting it. We're going to nip this before it becomes a problem, and this is my best way of fixing it. So we're going to fix it, and we're going to get out of here, and it's not going to be an issue. It's not going to be something that I just ignore and hope that it goes away. And it's not quite what I want.
Do you think he gave John Morton a heads up? Hey, I'm gonna make these calls. I'm talking before the game.
Yes.
Okay. I just want to make sure.
So on Monday, they lost on Sunday, whatever it was.
Right.
So the next day, he called him in and told him that he was going to call the plays, and they didn't tell anybody that week because I think they wanted to keep it as a surprise to the media. I mean, they didn't tell us.
Okay.
But he knew. And I think, Jamie, too, I would add, I think they probably talked about this when he hired him to be the guy. I remember, I say this all the time, in 2020, the first year after his first season, they coached the Senior Bowl. The Lions did. I was down there, and we talked to Dan because they were replacing Anthony Lynn. They didn't know what they were going to do yet.
Right.
And I asked him, do you want to call the plays? And he was like, well, maybe. So, technically, I guess I would be a candidate because I haven't ruled out. I like calling plays. I want to do it maybe sometime. So I just think that's part of his DNA too, and I think Morton understands that.
Well, Sean Payton, you made a great comment that Sean Payton, he's a Sean Payton disciple. I mean, he is a Sean Payton disciple, and he likes to call his own plays, and he's the head coach, so why not him?
He was with him last year he was with him last year as his top offensive guy. I mean, what he's an expert in, why like I say, he worked with Jim at Stanford and the 49ers, and Jim tried to hire him here like 5 times because he's one of those guys that just doesn't care. He'll do whatever you ask. If you change his job in the midstream, he's not going to throw a fit. Like, and he's not going to want to leave or quit on you. He just does his job. And I think that's why they want him here. And I think he's still a pretty valued guy. I think he did ruffle some feathers. Like, he blamed the offensive line a lot after that one after the the loss with the Vikings, which it was their fault.
They couldn't pick up the crisscross ball.
Yeah, but like I think some of the offensive linemen were like, okay, man, like, yeah, we had a bad day, but you didn't need to bring that back up again on Thursday to the media. Like, I think it's his first time doing this. So it's Morton's. So I think it's like if Dan said it, that was enough. I think Graham Glasgow said something a little bit about it. People overreacted, but I was like, he's learning too, Morton, how to be public and all this, right? Like, it's stuff that you say behind the scenes, but you're not going to keep dogging the offensive line on Thursday or Friday after we all know kind of what happened.
And I think Dan too is working on his personal, getting better at being a head coach.
Oh, yeah, sure.
With play calling and just doing. I think it's a good move.
You know what Larry's talking about. Larry's talking about he's getting used to being a coach, getting involved in everything, so we don't get any more 4th and 1s and 4th and 2s. Well, Larry hates going for it on 4th down. Just to let you know.
Personally,
I don't hate going for it on 4th down. I just want it to be more cerebral, more.
Yeah, well, plan it better. I get that, but I do love.
And not just this grit stuff where we're going to go for it no matter what.
I do love the idea, though, and it's like it should be clear now to everybody who it wasn't already clear to that the Lions head coach, Campbell, he built this offense. It's his offense. It's like it's not ever going to go away.
You're right.
So it's great when you have a head coach that is capable of doing something like this. I think that's what you need in the NFL today. It doesn't necessarily need to be an offensive guy. If it's like Mike McDonald out there in Seattle's doing great, and that's on the defensive side. But you got to have a guy who can be kind of a world-class play caller if need be. And I think Dan is one of those guys. He just doesn't talk about it. We've talked about this before too. He loves it that people think he's an oaf and an idiot, and like when he puts the glasses on, people change their opinion of him a little bit. I think too, right? But that's how it goes, and I think he's a smart guy.
I do too.
Can he get some smaller glasses? Maybe just.
I liked him. The cheaters. He looked like the old
circles. Like, I mean, good God, dude, come on,
Jamie. There
we go. Larry's got him right there.
Jamie, come on.
I got mine on. I can't see a damn thing. But I'm just saying.
You knew though when you saw him with those glasses, you were like, oh, he's calling plays because he can't see them.
No, you're right about that. You
knew it right there.
You caught me by you got me today. I mean, you got me this week.
Good.
So what you don't know, Big Sweet, is my boy can isolate on college kids and tell us who's a pro, who's not a pro, and different things like this. Well, recently, him and Austin Meeks got together and they broke down boy Underwood.
Yes.
Okay. All right.
And, so I like what you were saying. It made a lot of sense because is he hitting the freshman wall? Do you think he's hitting the freshman wall?
Well, I mean, yeah, I think everybody that's a freshman that plays does at some point, but I think that people have to understand the context of what he's doing. I think he's been great. I mean, this guy, Jamie, I didn't think he would be ready to start this year, and he is. And they do not have an easy offense to pick up. They have a lot. The run game is really complicated. There's a lot going on. They don't let him throw it a lot either. So, there's more. We've talked about this with JJ when he was here. I think that when you keep the context of he was 17 when fall camp started.
Right.
He's been out there as a starter every week. He's not turning it over all over the place. He's not throwing picks wild or making terrible decisions. Does he have issues with, is he not seeing everything in the pocket? No. Is he running out of the pocket too fast with pressure? Yes. Does he not hang in there long enough on some reads and miss some things? Yes. But that's all like 18-year-old freshman stuff. And I think physically and mentally, because he's picked up this offense and they keep going, they're still winning and he's playing winning football and making winning decisions. I think in a couple of years, we're going to be talking about him as, a top end draft pick. he's been really impressive. I think Harbaugh would have loved this kid. He's a fearless player. He's not afraid to, make tight throws and stuff like that. It's just he hasn't played enough. And I really do think that's the biggest thing with him. More time, it'll come. I mean, you know this, Jamie. Sometimes it only has to happen one time for one of those young guys for it to take off. And I think he might be one of those kids. I think he's really talented. I think he's a really good player.
So you see it in him. If they get him going and everything like that.
He's smooth, man. He's smooth for a kid that young. I mean, he's a smooth operator. You do not think he's 18 years old when you watch him. You know what I mean? We've seen 18-year-olds play here before, and that's not, he's got a different maturity gene, I think.
All I'm saying to you is that, he's taking a lot of heat now because they've seen the Michigan State game. Sure. They saw the Purdue game. They've seen all of this, everything that's happened. And you know how people are. They'll turn on you quick.
They will.
But they turn on you.
My response to that is being an outsider and not a Michigan person.
No, I get it.
That's the way you guys are.
Yeah, I know. It's hard.
That's the way
that, like rattlesnakes.
Yeah. Yeah. That's a Michigan thing, man.
No, it's no. That's
a big time school, though. That's like LSU will do that. Yes. Alabama will do it.
It's not.
But here's the deal. Here's what I would say. Ohio State will do it too.
Yeah,
like they were doing it to Will Howard last year.
I don't know. I don't know if they turn so quickly and so viciously.
But they will turn back.
Like they do in Michigan.
Some Ohio State fans, if a Ohio State quarterback loses to Michigan.
Yeah,
he is dead meat to them. Yeah, he is dead meat to them. They don't want
to win the national title to get out of the water.
Exactly. Will Howard was lucky he won that national championship, or he was a failure. Go ahead.
Here's what I would say though. Okay, this kid, he won the job. They had other quarterbacks on this roster that could have been their starter this year. They didn't need to be the guy. It wasn't like last year where there was literally no other warm body. So he won the job. If he's taking heat, fine. He'll deal with that and he'll learn how to deal with that. But my thought on him is when you look back to where J.J. McCarthy was at this age, this kid is ahead of him. And I think J.J. wasn't ready to play as a freshman. He was barely ready to play as a sophomore. So I think when people see Bryce Underwood go through it, when you see him in the bowl game, I think you'll see a really good football player by the end, if he's healthy and everything else. But, they have also, Jamie, they've got offensive line shuffles, and they got a young group up there. I think they got a lot of young pieces on that offense, and sometimes it shows. That's just kind of what the defense doesn't have the excuses that the offense has. When they have problems, it's usually their own fault. That's what I think.
I agree with you on that. But I mean, look, for me, that kid, he was getting popped around at Michigan State.
Yeah, he had a bad day there. Yeah,
right. And he started throwing the ball. And then the Purdue game, it just manifested even more because he was seeing ghosts. It wasn't he had time to throw the ball.
He's been doing that all year too.
In his head, the clock went off a little faster than it should have, and he puts that clock in his head, and he's like, okay, I got to get rid of this ball. And a lot of people were upset. Guys in the end zone open and everything like that. I'm like, well, you put yourself at 18 years old and see if you can throw.
I know it's a tough deal. I did note watching him. I don't know. This isn't for everybody, obviously, but I do think he would really benefit from working with one of those QB school coaches, like a guy who knows, like a trainer, somebody in the summer, who can help him with just the little details. Because once he gets the little details down, keeping his feet under him, like you said, stop seeing the ghost, just play, stay grounded, make your throws. He is going to be a really good player. So I think that's all a natural, and I like what they're doing with him offensively. I don't really even have any complaints about how they're using him. I think stuff's open. Sometimes he doesn't see it. And these receivers also have been letting him down. That's another issue they've got.
Nick,
I like him. Good player. Yeah.
I've got one last question before we let you go. No, this is not it's not a tongue-in-cheek question. It's an actual legit question.
Right.
I'm assuming you've been following along the ongoing drama that is Philadelphia and AJ Brown. Especially with with his off the field words of not being involved with any of the action on the field. Do you think that has any kind of impact on this game coming up Sunday night over in Philly?
Yeah, I gotta wonder. Colton said to me, Colton Pouncey, who covers the Lions for the Athletic for us, who's awesome, told me this week he thought this might be the good time to get the Eagles because, and I kind of agree with him. It almost feels like They're still doing the bickering, and they feel bored to me. They don't feel, and I think the Lions are going to come ready for a heavyweight fight, and I would expect Philly to do it too, but I think some cracks might show up here. And the Lions, if they're dialed in, could get them because they don't seem together. They don't seem like the same team to me. Like even last week, they don't. They just don't. They seem a little off. They're really relying on the tush-push more than they ever have. They just, if they can't beat you on first and second down and get into third and short, it's a tough deal for them. So I think they do this though. They fight and bicker and complain, and then they get to December and then they take off. So maybe they're getting them at the right time.
They are what that city is too. All they do is throw snowballs at Santa, and
they remind me of the old '90s Cowboys, the Michael Irvin Cowboys. They did this all the time, and then when it was time to go, they brought it. But I don't know if it's time to go yet for these guys. We'll see.
Yes, Nick, on a whole different subject.
Hey, you know your girl waiting to get her segment.
Okay, real quick. Nick, on a whole different subject. Quick. I need you writers to help me. We have to get Lomas Brown in the Pro Football Hall of Fame.
The Lions are trying, I think. Yes, I think we should probably make another pitch on that. I saw a nice video he put up on him.
It would be nice to get Lomas in.
He deserves
Super Bowl ring. I think he's got the case for that. That's a good call. I'll pass that along. Lomas doesn't get any better than Lomas.
It doesn't. It doesn't.
Yeah, great guy.
Hi.
Love him. He's the best.
Hey, Nick, I just want to say thank you for your assistance. Thank you for your assistance in helping me get to the Hall of Fame. My boy Big Sweet, we played together and everything. I love Big Sweet. Thank you, Nick. Thank you, Nick Baumgartner from Lomas Brown.
He's going to shake my hand with that mitt, and my hand's just going to disappear in his hand. I love it. He's great.
Nick, appreciate you coming on.
All right, fellas.
Thank you.
We'll see
you next week.
Indeed.
All right, we need to go to a break. We got Angelique Shingales, the angel of the big house on the other side. You're listening to the M Zone on the Big 1050.
Clear on the radio. And here she is.
Oh my, don't your hair look good, girl?
No, it's so
girl.
He's back. Are you back or are you in LA?
No, he's in LA. He's back in LA. Home. He's at his home. See that big
beautiful
piano in the back one?
Well,
plays piano.
LA is an abbreviation for Larry. This is my town.
Who plays that piano?
That's a good question.
Yeah, Larry, who plays that piano?
He occasionally invites John to come over.
Let me get somebody to play it. I'm a bass guitar player. I'm not a piano.
Oh, wow. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, I've been playing bass since the Dayton junior high days. I've been playing bass almost 50 years.
Wow. So why aren't you doing the opening for the show?
You know what? That's a good question. I could put something together. I have a
No, wait, let him put something together and then we'll do that.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
I think I got something for you already.
That's that guy up there.
We should do that. I can't. Yeah, it's right there.
Well, you know, Angelique, I got a band. You know, I've had a band for 23 years. I've traveled the world with George Clinton, Chaka Khan.
No,
you didn't? Oh, go to bitdlive.com. It's short for back in the day. bitdlive.com.
Oh, live. Okay.
I've had a band for 23 years. I've been out with everybody. Chaka Khan, Morris Day, Temptations, Four Top Spinners.
Wow.
Yeah, that's what I do.
Wow. I saw Chaka Khan in New York probably 1989, 88. It was like
I've opened up for her maybe.
About 17?
Yeah, right.
I've opened up for her. I've done about 5 shows over the years with Chaka. She calls me Big Funk. Hey, Big Funk.
So cool.
Well, you know the Dayton, Ohio funk.
Yes, I do.
That's where it comes from. All Lakeside, Slave, Heat Wave, Roger Troutman and Zapp, Ohio players. We all grew up in the same neighborhood over there on the west side of Dayton.
It's unbelievable.
Yeah, so I did the football thing, and then I went back to my music. Yeah,
my music.
I had no idea, but you should definitely play the opening for the show.
Yeah, you know what? I got something I'm gonna present to Miz and Jamie.
And you're gonna let Jamie decide? I'm telling you, it's in. It's good.
Thank you. I got my home, bro. That's all I need.
That's all you need.
That's all I need.
That's right. I thought of you a couple weeks ago. I drove to Cincinnati to get my mom, and I stopped at Skyline and had my Skyline.
Yeah, there you go. Skyline chili.
But that construction on 75 through Dayton is never, ever going to end.
It's always there, isn't it? That's crazy.
Always. I don't get it.
I don't either. Especially if for a while there was up there by 70 and 75.
Right.
That whole thing. Now it's down near the downtown area.
Right.
And all that. I'm like, it's crazy.
It is. It's a pain in the neck.
Done on 696 or 75 up north in Saginaw.
Yeah, I bet it's like that. This feels like it's been a decade, though. Like,
it does seem like it's been a decade.
Like that. So what did I miss? I got on right when Larry was saying that's a Michigan thing. Is it something like criticizing somebody or what?
Yeah, getting on the quarterback, turning on the quarterback. He tried to say it was a Michigan thing, but we ain't. You know,
they disputed me. They disputed me heavily. They disputed me heavily on that theory.
I don't know. I think it is a Michigan thing, but it could be an everybody thing.
That's why I love you. My homegirl tells it like it is.
She ain't. Come on. She got Michigan.
I mean, are you saying it's an every place thing? Because I've heard it.
No,
in
I'm
forever.
saying it's like every big school, if like at Ohio State.
No, it ain't like it is here.
No, that Ohio State quarterback was a failure until he won that national championship, right, Angelique?
Will Howard? I don't think so. I think
he was a failure because he couldn't beat Michigan. He could not beat Michigan. And
but you know what? Will Howard played hurt.
CJ Strauss. Will Howard got the hell knocked out of him because he tried to run the ball. That's all that happened. That's a football play.
I know.
But
he didn't play hurt.
We're coming back.
Sorry.
It's something about you Michiganders or Michigan people. Man, y'all turn on your guys so quickly and ready to kill them and get rid of them after two bad plays. You know, y'all, it's different at Michigan. It's different.
I'm unified with my guy.
Thank you.
And welcome back to the M Zone. Jamie Morris, Matt the Hitman Missler, best guy in the business, riled up, Big Sweet himself over in LA, mad about something. And we got the angel of the big house, Angelique Chigales. Hey, Angelique, how are you?
That is right. And I am here to encourage and back up Larry on everything he says.
Thank you. That's my homegirl. Thank you, homegirl.
That is right.
The Michigan quarterback does not get belittled more than anybody else that is a major player in college football. I'm sorry, that doesn't happen. They get belittled too. They do, but not as much and not as quickly as you people in Michigan. Y'all jump on your guys. I mean, let the man throw half an interception. Oh, man. And y'all, man. I saw the same thing when Will Howard got knocked the hell out. And they said, look at him staggering down there. He's drunk down there. Get him off the field.
When he demanded, I watched him on that sideline demanding for his helmet to get back in the game.
Right.
Which I still think was a mistake, but, whatever. And he played. So I think he showed sort of like Devin Gardner in 2013 in the Ohio State game playing on a broken foot. I mean, you appreciate that. You appreciate a quarterback who plays through an injury.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay. Yeah. Okay.
Let your guy have half a bad game, and we got to find a replacement. Man, y'all crazy at Michigan on that kind of stuff.
I'm going to say this because he was a 5-star because of the amount of money he's receiving. There is a lot of things behind why they get on him. I mean, let's be honest. If it was,
I can live with that, Jay. I can live with that. But you guys were doing it when the guys didn't have NIL deals and wasn't making money. You were ready to run your quarterbacks off the field after a bad series.
I didn't see Tom Brady getting run off. I didn't see.
Oh my
Tom
gosh!
Brady going off.
I remember talking to Tom Brady's sisters for a story, and they would tell me that they wanted to beat up people in the stands because they could hear them talking about their brother, the one who was his youngest
I know what
sister.
I'm talking about. I know what I'm talking about.
I did that on purpose because I knew she was going to say that.
Oh yeah, I figured you did because I know I've told that because I always laugh when she said that. I mean,
that story.
she wanted to beat up people. She really did, defending her brother. But it is more like.
How about Drew Henson? Did he get picked on?
I think so.
I think the only quarterback in Michigan history to exception is what's my man, the back in my day, what's his name? Rick
Leach.
Rick Leach?
Rick Leach. I think that's the only guy that could get away with anything at Michigan. He's the put the statue up of Rick Leach outside the stadium right now.
Wow.
I think Chad Henne too. I mean, Chad Henne when he injured his shoulder,
had a great freshman year. He had a great freshman year.
Well, but even after that, when he his arm was falling off at Illinois, they go shoot him up. He comes in, finishes, and then he rests and he comes back like Mike Hart did with an ankle injury, and they played at Michigan State. They wanted to be there for that game. So but I think Larry is right. I mean, I think that Michigan fans can be very hard on the quarterback, but it's also now you're hearing more like it's almost like you're at an NFL game because of the whole money thing now.
Right. Yes, and I agree with that. I fully agree with that. So Angelique, we gotta ask this: what's the expectations of Michigan getting back on these 3 games? I know, I know I could say what's the expectations of Northwestern? I know they know they're in a playoff atmosphere right now.
Right.
That's where the pressure is. Those kids understand we've got to win these next 2 games to get to Ohio State.
Yeah, so that's the playoff game.
Right. That is the playoff game for them because, I mean, really, if they win, they're in.
Yeah. No, for sure. I mean, and I think listening to Chip Lindsey on Wednesday, they're definitely taking Northwestern seriously. I mean, just in terms, their defense is pretty good.
Yeah.
And I mean, that's a team that's, with this new coach, they're trying to become bowl eligible for the second time, I think, in 3 years under him. Yep. So, I mean, they've got things on the line too. And, but I think Michigan, they'll get some of those key pieces back on defense. I suspect that they'll get their linebackers back, Cole Sullivan and Rolder and Jay Sean and stuff. But I mean, I think they're locked in. I mean, they know what they have to do. It's pretty clear what they have to win.
Right.
So,
and you're down a running back. You're down a running back, and you're going to have to take one of those running backs that you have on the shelf. You got to take them down. If not both of them, you got to take them down because. Look, I get it. Marshall's a great running back, but he can't do it by himself.
No, he can't. And I talked to his high school coach at Cincinnati, Moeller, another good Ohio person. And, we talked about.
Why are you pubbing that?
Cincinnati Moeller at one time was the top high school in the country.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, produced Barry Fowles, the famed Notre Dame coach. But, he talked about. They wanted to limit even back then. And he said that Jordan was the only freshman who was ever elevated to varsity at Moeller, which is saying something because that was, they were such a great traditional power.
You're right.
But he even said that they wanted to limit him and he has had cramping issues. So, talking to Chip on Wednesday, they want to keep him to 2025 carries a game, which is reasonable. And then there's Bryson Kutzall, who I talked to his high school coach the other day. And honestly, Jamie, people cannot stop praising this kid. Like he runs hard. He is really fast. And he just is a really quiet guy who just works hard. And he was a preferred walk-on. He got recruited by Saginaw Valley and Ferris. And I think he had an offer from Michigan State. But, this is a guy who came to Michigan because he wanted to prove something to himself. And I think he's a good – I mean, look, you want to have Justice and Jordan, but I think this Jordan and Bryson – and then you've got the freshmen. But I think they'll be in okay shape at running back. But you got to keep Jordan healthy at this point because I just don't don't see how Justice is coming back this season.
No, I mean, he did have surgery, and they're playing week by week, I think.
It's your foot. You're a running back.
I get it. I get it. No, it's pain threshold. That's what it is.
Yeah.
That's what it really is. But I get, and then how's the offensive line coming? We don't know, but I know that they worked during this off week trying to, solidify this offensive line. And I got to ask you this. Who the hell is on this Joe Moore Awards list?
I know.
What the hell is that, Angela? I'm sorry. You got this wrong. I see it right here. It says there's finalists. I love me some Michigan. Nobody loves Michigan more than me. But that offensive line should not be a semifinalist on the Joe Moore list. I'm just saying.
I'm trying to find I sent that tweet to someone and I just said, how are they on this list? And that's one of those things where it's pure reputation. And then you see Justice Haynes. I guess you sit there and look at stats. Oh, they're running the ball really well without actually looking at they've had 5 different combinations, I think, now on the offensive line. And that's not, that's because of injuries and stuff and moving guys. But no, this is not a elite Michigan offensive line by any means. So that did make me wonder, who is on this committee?
Well, that's what I said. I'm telling you, I love me some Michigan. I'd stand on the table for this. But you know what? I just know what the truth is. I'm sorry.
Right.
Well, maybe my boys can soften up Ohio State this week to help you out in a couple of weeks.
Yes. I actually took UCLA.
How'd that go last week against Indiana or 2 weeks?
What's Ohio State favorite? 30, 35?
Something like that. And I took in our Detroit News picks, I took your guys because I think at this stage it looks like watching Ohio State that they are resting guys. They're and so I think that gives a little bit of a little bit of.
Well, that's going out there a little bit, homegirl. That's going out
32
there.
32 and a half. They're not. Come on.
I know what you was thinking. I don't know what you was thinking. You should have made them give you 50.
Oh my God.
My goodness.
I don't know. So
maybe that would be the upset of the century, I think.
Well, no, I don't think that UCLA is going to win, but I think that if they'll cover. I think that
the spread. I see what you said. 30.
Yeah.
30, yeah. Okay.
Though that would be a great upset. That would be on the 1969 Michigan Ohio State level.
Yeah, exactly.
But UCLA does need some kind of game changing or season changing win. I don't know who else they have left on the. I looked the other day and now I can't remember.
I don't either. I haven't looked.
They need a coach. And I hope while Big Sweet's out there, they get that solved real quick.
It's being addressed. It's being addressed.
That's what he says.
It's a night game too in Columbus. Well, then it's UCLA USC on the 29th. So but they got Washington and Pasadena. So I wanted to ask you, Larry, what do you think about this whole UCLA wants to break the Rose Bowl?
I love it.
Their contract.
I absolutely love it. I think the Rose Bowl, in my opinion, is antiquated. But then, secondly, I love the nostalgia of the Rose Bowl and the one-off every year that it used to be and the big game. But to go there every game, every home game, that's tough. I think I mentioned a while back the Bruins should consider going to SoFi, and now they are. And Jamie says no because he thinks we should play in some high school stadium because we only get 2,000 people in our game.
They should go to the soccer stadium, Home Depot. The Home Depot.
Yeah, that is nice.
That's a nice stadium.
How many does it hold?
25,000, and that's good for you right now. That is very good. I think it's 25,000. I'm not sure, but it's smaller than SoFi. You need a small environment to encourage your fans. Do you remember what Bruin football is? Do you remember that? And
Well,
hey, we used to have a party no matter if we won or lost when we played USC. So you guys can come to that too, because we give away the trophy to the USC Trojans every year.
Yeah, but you know what? Now they can take guys into SoFi and say, you're going to be developed here, and then you're going to play in a stadium.
Play where the Rams. Well, back in it's tradition out here.
You know, Jim Harbaugh coaches the Rams right here in this stadium.
We all used to share the Coliseum, USC, UCLA, and the Rams.
Right.
And then the Raiders too. Don't forget the Raiders.
You know, I think a good compromise.
With the Raiders there. So, but yeah, Jamie, our program is not going to be down forever.
I didn't say it was going to be down. But you got to look. You can't jump from an iconic stadium like the Rose Bowl. I know you think it's antiquated, but here in the Midwest, we think of that the place. That's where you want to play in. So
yeah, but
go ahead. Let's keep the nostalgia what it is of the Rose Bowl and the one-off.
Right, I agree.
Instead of going there every game, every home game you go there, it takes away the nostalgia.
Once again, I agree with Larry. I will say,
yes, you do.
One thing you could do, you could have the USC UCLA game every year. I'm sure USC wouldn't want that, but that would be kind of a great setting for that game every year.
Kind of like you do the Big Ten game in Indy.
Right.
You do the Big Ten game in Indy or something. You know, remember, Jamie, I'm the guy that told Woody Hayes that I didn't want to go to the Rose Bowl. I wanted to win the Rose Bowl.
Wow. Yeah, you are that guy.
As a high school senior, I said that to Coach Hayes, and he cursed me out.
Exactly. Dude, the history that Hayes and Bo, I mean, that Rose Bowl was iconic.
That was iconic. So let's leave it that way and not have UCLA play there every game.
And it's a different vibe when UCLA's there. Like that one game Michigan played out there 100 years ago. I mean, it was, John Navarro. It was 105 degrees that day. It was brutal. It smelled. I mean, I remember that stadium just smelled like sweat, and it just didn't have the same vibe as going for the Rose Bowl.
And I love that they put my coach's statue out there. I love that it's the Terry Donahue Pavilion, and they got a statue of my man out there and all that. I love all that, but I'm not a Rose Bowl fan, man. And you know what? You got to be a youngin' to go to a game at the Rose Bowl, because there's a whole lot of walking involved at the Rose Bowl.
While you're voting for your next head coach, you better vote. So you better take a can around and donate some money, because you're getting sued by that. You know, they're suing you for. I'm just letting you know. You guys are fighting.
Which is another reason why UCLA wants the private equity deal.
There you go.
Angelique, what's your take? Because it sounds like
on the private equity deal.
I think Tony Petitti, he's really pushing this. He's really pushing it.
And I've had conversations with people at the Big Ten, and they, to me, it's semantics. They're like, it's not private equity. It's like, they're trying to tone that down and say it's not. And I'm like, well, yeah, of course it is. And I think Michigan's taken the right stance, and USC on this. And I think that this is, and who knows what this means for Michigan going forward. I mean, if Big Ten, this is they become
wait a minute. Is Big Ten really going to let USC and Michigan get away? Are they really seriously?
I mean, who knows? Are these bluffs? Are they trying to call somebody's bluff? I don't know how this works.
I don't think it's enough money, and the deal is too long.
Yeah, it is too long for sure.
And it keeps Petitti in the seat as commissioner. Yeah. He can't be fired. The presidents can't come together.
That's why he's pushing it.
I'm just saying.
But I bet you if you asked every AD, they just want the money. They don't even. They're like not looking at the deal.
Angelique, I know everybody's pinching the money and everything like that, because they want that money. That sounds like a lot of money. $139 million is a lot of money. I get it.
But you know what? In today's time, it is a lot of money, but it isn't.
Right.
They could go for a lot more than that. And then the 20-year scenario is too long of a deal.
God.
Way too long.
Too
Way
long.
too long. I mean, this is so they're letting the lower tier teams, programs really dictate this. I mean,
Right.
I am really shocked Ohio State hasn't jumped into the Michigan side of things here.
The debt is too big for them.
Yeah.
They are in debt. So they need money too. So I get it. Penn State needs money. They're doing a new stadium, and so doesn't Northwestern, because they got $1 billion stadium that they're building. I get it, but get your money somewhere else. You got credit.
Agreed.
So use it. I mean, my goodness, you're going to destroy a conference over this?
Mm-hmm.
Right. I feel you. I'm with SC in Michigan on this one. I don't think it's enough money, and the deal is too long.
Isn't it amazing? Larry and I actually agree with Jamie on something. Wow.
To be all honest,
he finally makes sense on something.
Wait a minute. First of all, you should be over at the Home Depot Center, and you know it as well as I do, talking about being SoFi. I mean, look, what are you going to sell? Jim Harbaugh coached a national champion. You guys want to play in the same stadium as he does? I mean,
no, you sell it as you guys. We're going to develop you. You can play. You'll be playing in the NFL in stadiums like this.
Exactly.
I mean, that place is stunning because Michigan had one practice there.
Yeah,
gorgeous. The Commanders, their new stadium is going to be made by the same company that did SoFi.
Oh,
okay, and they're going to name it the Donald Trump Stadium.
No, they're not. Right. No, they're not. They're going to have a conversation about it, but he didn't say that. He didn't say that. I'm just saying. You don't put words in that man's mouth. Gus Harris is a smart man. Okay, he may give Donald Trump a bathroom, a or a couple of that, because he likes to flush. So, other than that, that's about it. I'm just saying.
No, Jamie, we got UCLA should go to SoFi. That's plus I bring back the tradition. I don't know how they did it back in the
20
day.
Minutes away, sweet. They got to bust the students. They're 20 minutes away. It's close enough, but yet 20 minutes could turn into 2 hours. Traffic.
That's another. Speaking of that, that's another reason why they should not go to Pasadena. It takes 2 hours to go from Westwood to Pasadena.
Agreed. I mean, if you wouldn't let all these people buy the land and want to have houses next to UCLA, you could have built a stadium right next to
in the middle of Bel Air, Brentwood, Beverly Hills. No stadium will ever make it there.
You probably could take your soccer field and build it out a little bit.
No, I tell you what, UCLA does have a great track stadium, Drake Stadium, named after the great Ducky Drake. The stadium, there could be, and there's an intramural field right next to it in which they just built a parking lot underneath. There is the potential to have a stadium on UCLA's property, but it's the surrounding areas, the Bel Airs, the Brentwoods, the Beverly Hills. They are not going to allow all that traffic coming into those places.
Oh, I can't even imagine what the price tag would be to build one there, though. In that environment, that real estate environment.
$2 billion. I'll tell you that. Let's start there. $2.2 billion.
I mean, you know what? This Northwestern, the new stadium they're building, that to me is like the right size for like UCLA could have. I mean, you don't. In this day and age, you don't need to build a big house. I mean, you need to like 35, 45,000 is probably.
So you would be okay with shrinking the stadium?
No, not Michigan Stadium. No, you can't do that. No, but like I believe Kentucky about 10 years ago, maybe a little less, they did a renovation and they shrunk their capacity because they knew they weren't selling their ticket. They weren't selling out.
Right.
And I mean, I looked at tickets for the last Michigan home game, Purdue game. They were going for $35, $40 on the secondary market the day before the game.
How many does SoFi hold?
65.
I don't know.
65.
65?
Yeah.
65.
That's like Ford Field.
That's right. That's the right size, Jamie.
SoFi is a little over 70,000 and can accommodate. 70. You can have 100,000 guests there. It says
it's better than 25.
Yeah, it is.
Well, that's where you should. All I'm saying is you got to reinvigorate the fans.
I mean, there are some Texas high school stadiums that are about 20,000.
Let me tell you. When I was general manager of the XFL team, those Texas high school stadiums, you would not. But we practiced in one every day. Oh my God! I'm sitting there. They're beautiful. Jamie. It's like playing Division I college football in these places, and they're 50 and 60 seaters, and they're state of the art with all the latest everything. I mean, they are beautiful high school stadiums in Texas. Crazy.
And he wants your team to play in a 15,000 seat stadium.
I know. Next thing you know, I'm trying to help
stadiums. I'm just trying to help y'all out. You know I'm trying to help you out. I'm calling
build it and they will come, Jamie. Build it and they will come.
Bel Air. Now, if it ain't in Bel Air, hey, they ain't coming over there.
They ain't coming to Bel Air, Brentwood, Beverly Hills are not going to have all that traffic.
I'm just going to say this. Build it, they ain't coming.
Well, it is harder for the LA teams to draw, but I mean, the Coliseum was full for the Michigan game, so it's possible.
Did you hear what Sharon said? You know it's going to be packed.
Oh, I know, because it was Michigan. He was probably right.
He's probably right about that.
Mm-hmm.
Now, SC, they do, and I said this on the air before. SC gets a good crowd. They probably
do. I got no problem with SC.
70,000, but that game was different.
It's a cool game. I mean, look. Eventually, UCLA's got to stop giving parties to USC in their wins. I mean, really, they got to stop doing it. Anyway,
you know the meaning behind what he keeps saying there, Angelique. I happen to tell the story that back in the day when I was at UCLA.
Now, mind you, he's saying that Michigan, Ohio State. He said we had great battles too, Jamie. But then after the game,
now here's
they went out.
We were entrepreneurs. What happened was, listen, Ronnie Lott, Dennis Smith, Marcus Allen, Ken Easley, Marcus, those guys from SC, me, Ken Easley, Freeman McNeil. We had a party after the game where we gave out trophies to the player of the game, and we all probably made $3 or $4 grand. Off of, we sold tickets. We had it at a nice Beverly Hilton hotel.
Wow.
We were entrepreneurs.
Now, can you see Bo Schembechler and Woody Hayes said, "Hey, I'll see you at the party after the game."
The coaches didn't come, Jamie. The coaches didn't come. It was the players.
Chris filming me and Chris going, "Hey, I see you over at the hotel on the other side." Okay,
exactly. Just like in pro football,
because we fought for Toledo. Remember,
Jamie? During the course of the game, here's a story about that night too. Dennis Smith was given one of the awards, but Dennis had a swollen lip because I had busted it, and he said, "Man, I gotta speak like this because Larry Lee hit me in my mouth like this." It was just after it's like any other. You compete and beat each other up, and then we were civil enough and entrepreneurish enough to come together as one. In unity.
It's beautiful.
It's beautiful. Kumbaya.
All right, I'm done with this. We're gonna flush this right now.
Anyway, Jamie. I mean, you talk about you guys always talk about how much you respect Ohio State players you played, and vice versa. So there is a bond,
but not right after the game.
Next time you run into Ronnie Lott or Charles White. Or or Marcus Allen, ask them about the Boogie Rescue Squad.
The Boogie Rescue Squad. Wow. Okay. Well, we are running a little late. Angelique, I apologize. That hair looks really good. I just want you to know.
My whole girl.
It looks really good.
Larry.
But thank you for coming on, being a part of the M Zone. As always, it is quite entertaining. I just want to
hit a couple homers on Saturday at Wrigley.
See you
Say
tomorrow.
that again.
On Saturday.
See you on Saturday.
See you
All
there. Bye. Bye, Larry.
Take care,
And
Angela.
we got to
Bye,
go to
Matt.
a break because we got Clayton Safety coming on the other side. You're listening to the M Zone on the Big 1050. Good job.
You're on the radio.
I loved it.
I
You
love
know
that.
me. I love it.
She's cool, man. She's a good girl.
All right. Remember, Thomas Quine's not coming on today.
Oh, he's not?
He's pulling another shift.
Okay.
Someone called in sick.
Hello.
This is the M Zone.
And welcome back to the M Zone. Jamie Morris, Matt the Hitman Missler, best guy in the Bizzler, and you got Big Sweet Larry Lee, the center of intention, and joining us, Clayton Safey from Thank you, Miss. Clayton, how you doing today, man? Hey, we're back in football. We're playing some football. You going? I know you're gonna be in Chicago.
Yeah, I'm excited. Wow, what an intro there with the sound effect. Yeah.
Also, I've been on a Thursday, Clayton, so I figure I got to give everyone their proper due.
I love it. I appreciate it. Yeah, it's great to be here. Great to be talking football. I'm excited for football on a baseball diamond. I've never been to Wrigley, so it should be fun.
Oh, wow. You're killing two birds with one stone.
That's right. Did you ever play on a baseball diamond, Jamie?
I did. It was a Green Bay game. I think we were in Milwaukee, or I think it was name some cities outside of Green Bay.
Milwaukee, Madison.
No, it was Milwaukee. It was
Okay,
Milwaukee.
then
We
he
played.
was in
We
the
played
good
in
land, as
Milwaukee,
they
and
call
we
it.
were on the
Milwaukee.
same side. We were on the same
Jamie,
side.
did you ever play up in Oakland with the Raiders when they shared the baseball field?
Oh my God! Yes.
I played there.
I got sand all in my uniform, man.
I know. It was crazy, man. Crazy.
Yes, I'm that old, Clayton. Yes, you called me out.
Well, that's the first one I thought of. I remember watching games there, so on TV, and it's always interesting. But this, at least, there won't be the dirt on the actual field this time. They got the sod coming in, so it should be a little bit better condition.
Yeah, they don't want to turn. That's an iconic field, and they don't want to tear that field up as well. And they want to have a great game. Hey, Clayton, this is a great game to have at this time. It's the Jewett award winning to get a chance to win. So, I mean, this is going to be an interesting game.
Yeah, and well, think of it. Michigan hasn't lost a rivalry or trophy game in a while.
Right.
They beat Northwestern last year in Minnesota to secure those trophies. At Michigan State, they've won 4 in a row, and Michigan State hasn't even won a game in 5 years because all their wins are vacated. They didn't have many wins, but they all got vacated.
The man speaks truth.
I know the man speaks truth, but he takes shot right now. Shots fired.
But it's the truth.
Well, it's 10:50 in Ann Arbor. You got to take a couple shots every now and then. But then Ohio State, right? Michigan's beaten them, and they have an opportunity to do that for a 5th straight time later this month. So, it'd be nice to hang on to the George Jewett Trophy. You're 3-0 in that, or 2-0. Sorry. Playing for the George Jewett Trophy, one of the newer trophy games in college football. Actually, Michigan's got the Bussin' Bowl trophy too over.
Yeah, we got the Bussin' Bowl.
Yeah, so they've got possession right now of all of their trophies, and this would be a big win. I mean, you kind of say it every week. Once you pick up that second loss in college football and you're in the Big Ten, and you still have a chance at the playoff, but you have to win out. Every game is a massive game, and we were talking about it before Purdue, and Purdue hadn't won a Big Ten game in 2 years, but they're all big right now because it's kind of playoff mode. And then on the Northwestern side of things, they have had an okay season, right? They're 5-4. They had a 4-game win streak at one point. Now they've lost 2 in a row, but they're coming back, quote unquote, home to Wrigley Field, and they're looking to become bowl eligible. So they're going to give you everything you got as well.
Yeah. Again, you're listening to Clayton Safey. Clayton, let's talk about this. What are you expecting from, they're coming off a bye week. Everybody was a little down after the Purdue game and everything like that. They were on, they weren't look, for me, when you talk Underwood, to me, I'm saying he's hit the wall. He hit the freshman wall. This was a good time for him to get his head straight, to get ready. I think this young man you're gonna see a different young man in this game, in particular game, that he'll be able to do some things.
Yeah, I mean, just since he didn't play well in the last couple, doesn't mean he's not capable of playing pretty well. Because I keep bringing it up, and we probably talked about it a couple weeks ago too, when it was like his best game was the Washington game, and then he had some of his worst games. Right, that's going to happen with the freshman quarterback. It's not progress isn't going to be linear, so he could come out and play his best game this week, or maybe it comes at Maryland next weekend, and this weekend is just a solid performance or whatever. It's hard to predict how he's going to play, but I would hope, and Chip Lindsey, the offensive coordinator, talked about it yesterday, that they need to shore up the pass protection. That's been a big factor when you think of the struggles that the pass team has had. And then Bryce Underwood, going back to some of his fundamentals, the footwork, decision-making, you can't turn the ball over, especially in the red zone. And then, just seeing the field, continuing to progress in reading coverages, all those things that are tough for a freshman quarterback. So I don't know exactly what to expect, but I think right now it's a nice luxury to have that the run game's been this good, and you knock on wood and hope that Jordan Marshall can stay healthy, but he's a special running back. And not every freshman quarterback in the country that is starting has, someone who you can rely on like that, whether it was Justice Haynes earlier in the year or Jordan Marshall now, and the offensive line's getting better at run blocking, and you got guys like Max Bredesen and Jalen Hoffman getting in there blocking. So at least you have that and a good defense. Bryce Underwood has not been the reason why they've, solely lost any of the games they've lost. Oklahoma and USC, he didn't look great in either, and he surely made some mistakes, but I don't think, he was top of the list in terms of the reasons why. And there have been a lot of games where he wasn't top of the list, the reasons why they won. But that's almost a good thing in a way, because it means you have talent around him, you have a good defense, you have a good run game. There's that infrastructure in place so that he can continue to grow.
Yeah, that's what I would think. But we have different fans, and with the advent of the NIL, people with the money that he's said to be making, everybody's gonna look at him as the quarterback, as the guy who's making a lot of money, and they're gonna point the finger at him.
Yeah, and I understand that. I think I talked about it with you on the show when he signed, and probably back in the spring. And to me, once you get to college and, everyone's getting paid now, some more than others, clearly he's getting paid, probably over 10 times more than a lot of his teammates that are starters, maybe,
right.
Who knows what they're making, but you just have to, at the end of the day, that money doesn't help him play any better. Maybe it motivates him in a certain way. But he's a freshman like anyone else. He's going to have his ups and downs. I was watching a Saturday night, California against Louisville, and Cal goes in and they beat number 15 Louisville in overtime. It was an awesome game. And Cal's freshman quarterback, Sagapulotele, which is a fun one to pronounce.
I'm glad you said
awesome.
it.
Yeah, exactly. I had to practice that one. But he was awesome in that game. He threw for 350 yards. He had the game-winning touchdown in overtime at the goal line. He made a nice throw. And then I'm looking okay, how is this guy done? Because you'd kind of heard about him a little bit, but hadn't stayed up to watch all their games, admittedly. And then I look at the week before they lost to Virginia, and he had a bad game, multiple turnovers, right? He might have been the reason why they lost. All these guys that are freshmen starting, and same thing with BYU's guy, Bear Bachmeier, which is another great name. He, didn't have a great game when they got blown out last weekend against Texas Tech, but he's had great games in the past. We can't only watch one freshman quarterback. There aren't many of them starting in college football, but when you take a look around the country at the other guys doing it, it's one good game, one bad game, two good games, two bad games, whatever it is. So you just have to take it in stride. I know he's going to make a big jump next year, but I understand that when you have the college football playoff hanging in the balance here, you want results right now. You want to see it. We all do. I would love to see it. I was certainly sitting there last or 2 Saturdays ago, being pretty critical of some of the decisions he made and all that. It doesn't mean we can't break down what happens in the moment, but big picture, I think some of these struggles were to be expected, as frustrating as they can be in the moment.
Yeah, well, as a freshman at 17 coming in and now just being 18, I expected some type of drop off that was going to happen, and and with the advent of bye weeks now, he was going to be able to get his composure back, and he didn't have to suffer through the rest of the season wondering about that. With a bye week, you can shake this off, get this going, get this bad juju out and everything like that. So my thing is that they're going to, first and foremost, they got to run the ball, and Jordan Marshall is your guy, but you can't just depend on Jordan Marshall. There's going to have to be some other guys that are going to be able to run the ball also, right?
Yeah. And just to quick finish that point, I agree with you to your point about like if Bryce looks like he did against Michigan State and Purdue the rest of the year, that's going to be kind of a failure in terms of how he was developed this season.
That's a true statement.
My point
that's
is
a true statement. Well said.
Right.
Well said.
We can all agree on that, and we all have to wait and see what the results are. But if he doesn't, or I'm just saying that it's possible that in the next 3 weeks and beyond, whatever they have in the postseason, that he makes a jump, or that you see some ups, you see some downs again. Like I don't think it's gonna just be the Purdue game over and over, but because we've seen him play better than that.
Yeah,
that was my point, I guess. But
no, you're right.
Yeah, and then back to the running backs. I think that I'm a little concerned about what's behind Jordan Marshall just because of the lack of experience. A true freshman in Jasper Parker, Bryson Cusdall, who's from near where I'm from in West Michigan, a former walk-on, looked pretty good against Purdue late in that game. I thought it was a good showing, but pass protection was an issue. I think each of those guys had a bad play in pass protection where they allowed a pressure, and you know how important that part of the position is that probably doesn't get talked about enough.
Right.
And then, just the lack of experience, like they got to hang on to the ball, man. They got to be able to, if Jordan Marshall cramps up like he did at the end of the Purdue game, they got to be ready for some big boy carries. Is it going to be a 3rd and 2 when that happens? When, let's say Jordan Marshall's helmet comes off before a 3rd and 2, maybe you burn the timeout if it's in the first half, but it may be a big boy carry that they're in there for. So it's definitely something to watch this weekend, and will be a decent test because they may need those guys to get a little more experience and more comfortable going into the biggest games of the year at the end. Namely Ohio State. Yeah,
absolutely right. But the pressure that's on these young men, that they put pressure on themselves. What is that like? Because they're putting on each game is looked at as a playoff game, and the pressure that these young men put on themselves. I mean, they know they got to beat Northwestern. They know they got to beat Maryland, and then that's the game that they want to get to win their championship, to move on, to get into the college football playoffs.
Yeah, no doubt. And man, the good thing is, like, as much as I, just mentioned there, the concern about the depth at running back, the good thing is you have a starter now in Jordan Marshall, who started the year as a backup, that's better than most starters in the country. I think he's 5th right now in the Big Ten in rushing yards. Justice Haynes, who's missed 2 out of the last 3 games, is still 3rd in the Big Ten in rushing yards. So you had really, the duo that we talked about leading into the year, it lived up to the hype. When those guys are healthy, they're 2 of the best backs in the country, in the conference. So at least you can lean on Jordan Marshall. And I know Sharon Moore talked earlier this week about, if we have to rush him 25, 30 times, we will. And then Chip Lindsey said yesterday that, we'd ideally rush him 20 to 25 times, or 20 to 25 touches, and he included receptions in that. But you never know. If he has to go more, man, you got to lean on him. If he has to carry it 34 times or whatever it is, I think you do it. And there's nothing to save him for anymore. These are playoff games, like you said, Jamie. What's the most you ever ran in a game? Do you know that number? Because I feel like they were higher back in the day.
I was at 20. I got 28.
Okay. And how'd you feel after that?
Well, I was sore. But I answered the bell on Sunday. I did go down and tell the trainer I'm fine, and he goes, "No, you get your butt in here," because I wanted to go get some lunch and or brunch, and he was like, "Nope, get in here. We need to make sure." So that's what they did.
That's one of the differences now. I feel like these guys are mandated to come in and get the treatment and all that. And but was it worth it, Jamie, to carry it 28 times if your team won the game?
Yes, absolutely. Yeah. I mean, you want to be that guy. Everybody wants. Here's the thing. The one thing, Clayton, and this has not changed. You want to be that guy where the team puts the ball in your hands and you got to carry the team. That's the thing. You're not trying. It's not being selfish. It's you and those 5 guys in front of you and the wide receivers and getting it done. That's a team effort. When you move the ball, getting it down the field, however you do it. Maybe it's a long run or maybe it's 5 yards at a time, but you're getting it done together.
Right. And I think Jordan Marshall has that mentality down. Like, he is a warrior. I mean, I've never seen a back run harder at Michigan, and I was close to making that. And then the last game, I said, yep, I think he runs harder than Hassan Haskins. No, Hassan Haskins was
wow.
running.
Wow. That's a
man.
Are you sure?
I think so.
Are you
I think
sure?
it's neck and neck.
Do you not remember how Hassan played against Ohio State? That game, 2021?
I'm not saying he's better yet.
No, I'm not saying he's better yet, but you're saying he is hard. He is a hard runner. I'll put him in the same category, but I'm not saying no, he's in the same category. I'll give you that.
Okay, that's fair. That's fair. I mean, you know better than me, but I love watching Jordan Marshall run because he empties the tank every single play, gets back in the huddle, and then leaves it all out there again. It's fun to watch. Like Justice Haynes has that home run ability, and so does Jordan Marshall to an extent. But there's something about watching a guy who just wants to be the baddest guy out there and is the toughest MFer out there. And he carries that mentality with him every single play he's out there.
No, you're right. He runs angry. Like Butch Woolfolk.
Mm-hmm.
He runs angry. Butch Woolfolk ran angry because he was angry for real.
That's fair. It lines up.
Big Sweet, I'm going to tell you why Butch Woolfolk was angry. So I guess Bo promised Butch he could run track. So he let him. So he went and called Bo on it, right? And said, I'm leaving if I can't run track, right? And Bo goes, what? He goes, I want to run track. He goes, okay, you can run track. Every year Butch was here for 4 years. Butch was the 8th tailback coming back from when he did, because he didn't play in spring ball. So that's why Butch was so angry all the time. Because he had to battle through 7 guys in front of him to be the starter again. Now, he was the starter. Everybody knew he was the starter, but he had to battle and he had to show his toughness and everything like that.
Man, those coaching antics back in the day, man, something different, brother.
It was different. So that's what I mean when I say that, Clayton. It's just crazy how the angry running backs they get it done because they got something to prove, and I love that.
Well, he used to try to tick you off. Coach used to try to get up your skin a lot, right?
Yeah, he did. Go ahead, Clayton. What were you saying?
I was just gonna say it's funny because Jordan Marshall's like the nicest kid off the field, and then he's like a different beast out on the field. It's
he plays angry.
He doesn't seem quite as angry.
Exactly.
He plays angry, man.
He is angry being out on the field because he thinks you're trying to take what is mine. And this is my day. This is my ball, and I'm going to do it my way.
100%. It's funny. Chip Lindsey, I asked him about that yesterday. I said, do you ever just shake your head when you're up in the box calling plays at like how much he pushes the pile? And he said it's one of his favorite things to watch from that view high up where, you can't really see Marshall anymore. And there's a bunch of tacklers around him. And then you just see that pile start to move. And then the offensive linemen get in. And that brings juice to everybody, man. And then I feel like it helps the offense get in a rhythm. So it's those intangible things that a guy with that attitude can bring to the table to an offense that you can't really measure it,
No, you're right. Look, the thing about that, it brings the team together. That's the one thing it does do. It brings the team together, the offense and the defense. Because the defense gets fired up because they see how hard that offense is driving that ball down the field.
Mm-hmm. No doubt.
And it's just, I mean, you've seen it. You know these guys. I got to ask you this question. I make light of it, but the offensive lineman award. Yeah. Michigan made the semifinalists of that.
What did you think?
No. I'm sorry. We got 3 redshirt freshmen. I'm sorry. What who's watching this and who's judging this?
Well, what they're watching is lack of tackles for loss, lack of sacks, rushing yard totals. Like, are they watching every offensive line in the country that closely? Probably not.
No, they're not.
So, here's the thing. Here's an amazing stat, and just to make this whole show about Jordan Marshall, is he has 1 negative rush all year out of I think 124.
Get out of here.
Right now.
Serious?
And that's a lot of that is him, right? But the offensive line gets credited for it in an award like this. So can I definitively say they're not one of the top 10? No, because I haven't watched all the teams, but I have watched Michigan's O-line pretty closely, just like you have. And I would say, having watched a lot of college football over the years, including Michigan's lines that did win that award,
Yeah, right.
I'd be hard to believe they're top 10, right? But I don't know how much it matters.
No, it doesn't matter. I mean, look, when we won that, I'm going to say this. When we won that award with those two teams, we didn't win the national championship. When we didn't win that award during those 3 years, we won the national championship. So take it for what,
and you know
what
who
it's
won
worth.
that award? You know who won that award when Michigan won the national championship? Washington.
I did not know that.
Yes, they had the Joe Moore.
That's poetic justice right there. Right there.
So your point is valid, man.
Oh my goodness. That's so funny. Now that I like. Larry, so you should be, hey, these offensive linemen, you know what's up. I look, for us, they're not looking at they're looking at the statistics, not the real offensive lines.
Now, is this in the country or in the Big Ten?
No, this is in the country.
Wow. I hear you loud and clear now. I don't know about that one.
I'm just saying, bro. I'm just saying.
I guess, yeah, top 10 in the Big Ten makes a little more sense, right?
Yeah, that makes a lot more sense. Yeah,
I can see that.
I can see that too. But, it is what it is. Clayton, really appreciate you coming on with us today. And, hey, have a good time in Chicago. Not too much. Don't overeat because trust me, you can. You can because the food is going to be around.
100%. Well, thanks for having me. That was a lot of fun. I'll talk to you.
Thanks, Clayton. Yep. Thanks.
Yeah, appreciate it. Yep.
Now, let everybody know, and everybody's going to be upset a little bit, but bottom line with Thomas Gwines, you all know what Thomas does for a living, right? He's a Washtenaw County sheriff. So he's pulling another shift. And that means Rodney, you can't have a roadie, bro. You better not have a roadie.
I gotta get all the other voices down like I got yours, because Thomas got that that soul trained sexy voice, Hey, we know Thomas Glines, and I'm here, with Jamie, and what's his song by what's his song?
Don Cornelius. You hitting him with Don Cornelius? You saying he's like Don Cornelius?
Yeah, he like Don Cornelius, man. Soul train. You know what I'm saying, man? Don, the bottom line with Thomas Glines. You know what I'm saying?
He hit you with those words too, boy. I'm like, wow. What are you saying?
Zuciferous and all them other one show I wrote them down. I forget. I kept a tally of those words. And Jamie, what I'm saying is the offensive line, it's got to become better. And our coach,
Question of the day. Here it is. What's the one guy who's got to show up? And don't say Bryce Underwood. I don't want to hear Bryce Underwood. We already know that one. Who's the other guy? Who's the one guy, offense or defense or special teams, that's got to show up to this Northwestern game? Who is that one guy? That's the question of the day. We'll come back on the other side and open the lines. You're here. You're listening to the M Zone on the Big 1050.
Clear on the radio.
You got that song in my head now, man.
What song?
What is that?
What the hell did I do?
That song. What is that? That's Curb Enthusiasm, right?
Oh, Curb Your Enthusiasm.
Yes, that's what it was. I knew it was something. I couldn't figure out what it was, so it's stuck in my head.
Hey, you know what, Miz? I don't.
I'm that guy. Okay, you know what? not even the full amount of it. I cut it out short, but I'm the guy. I'm the one that's a problem.
You know, a lot of the times I don't hear a lot of that other audio you do. So I don't. That's why I don't necessarily comment or hear. I don't necessarily hear it.
Oh, okay. Yeah. For the most part, I mean, like our return music stuff, like I can't get any of that on like the over the stream because of copyright infringement stuff. So
I got you. Okay. Yeah.
And I know when it happens, because we'll get a notification. I'll get a notification on the social saying, part of your video may have been muted.
I wrote a song called "On Top of My Game." I'm gonna send it to you and Jamie and see what y'all think of it. You might want to use it as one of the songs on the show or something. I don't know.
Hey, I'm always down for changing some things up or whatnot, you know.
So it's called "On Top of My Game." I'll send it to you guys.
Okay.
Did I eat? I did. I had a biscuit. Today was an eating day, so I did. I had a biscuit with egg and cheese, and I had a protein pack. It was good. It was good too, boy. It was good. That was really good.
I'm hungry now, man. I'm gonna find something to eat.
I tell you, today was the eating day. I kept to myself. You know, should have had a salad or something, but I didn't. But I
should have been having rabbit food, but you didn't have rabbit food.
I will have a salad tonight.
You have your salad.
That salad is good. You better have a player. You got a player? You got a player who should be in this game? Somebody that you know?
You said player.
A player.
I was gonna throw a curve and say Coach Moore, but
you can throw. No, you can use that. I said a player, but you can use that, Coach. He needs to show up too.
Yeah, exactly.
Show up and show out.
Yes, I was gonna throw a curve and say that.
You can throw your curve. I'm with it. I love it.
Okay.
All right, we are coming back from break, guys. So stand by.
This is the M Zone.
And welcome back to the M Zone. Jamie Morris, Matt the Hitman Missler, best guy in the Bizzler. And you got Big Sweet on the West Coast.
Yeah, 77 degrees.
It's warm today. I just want you to know it's warm.
It's warm?
It is warm out. It's like a 40-something degrees, 734-998-1050, 734-998-1050. You know what? I'm going to curve it up for you a little bit more. A person on the Michigan squad, this year's Michigan squad, that you think that needs to be that one guy, the step-up guy. Who is that guy? No, not just a guy. It could be a trainer. It could be a lifting coach. Someone. Who is it?
Are you asking me first?
I'm asking you first.
Chip
Lindsay?
Yes, because I tell you why. When an offense isn't necessarily doing what it's supposed to do, or as well as you think it is supposed to be doing, the coach has to become the differentiator.
Okay, I got you.
I.e., the Detroit Lions.
Yep.
Their offense was stagnant, and look what happened.
Okay.
What happened? Dan Campbell got involved, and da-da-da-da. So I think it's on the coach, the offensive coordinator, since Sharon might not call plays again like he used to. I think it's on Chip to get more dialed in and more creative, or whatever you want to call it, to get this offense back on where you think it should be.
Yeah, you're right. Although I disagree with that comment. Jerome does call some plays. I think he does every now and then.
Well, he might take a page from Dan Campbell's office.
Right. Chip may want to do this, and Jerome said, "No, I want to do that."
Okay, all right. Well, he might look at Dan Campbell as an example.
For me, Donovan McCulley. Donovan McCulley, the wide receiver.
The wide receiver.
He needs to be healthy. He needs to be ready to play, because he can eat that. He can eat that secondary up. I mean, he can gobble it up. He could go Bryce throws the ball anywhere in his zone, anywhere near him, he should come down with the ball. That's just my guy. I'm thinking he's that guy. He is him on Saturday. He should be him on Saturday. He should be. Look, from what I saw, what the wide receivers at USC did.
Yeah.
Goodness. He should be eating, and they should feed him. Get the ball to him in the air. Get the ball to him. Just get it to him. Get it to him.
That could go back to my guy. Chip could be the one that get it to him.
You're right. But I'm saying that's who got stuck in my head. I said we can't say Bryce. I'm telling you, he's that guy. He is that one guy. Look, Jordan's going to take care of what he needs to take care of. I'll get that. Offensive line will do what they were. Look, they were embarrassed thoroughly. They didn't like the way they won against Purdue. A win's a win. You take it. Right. But they didn't like it. Now go eat. Go eat in Chicago. Go get your meal.
Miz, you chiming in on this one?
Yeah, I just figured I'd let you guys cook. As
I'm just rambling. You know me, I'm rambling. Go ahead, bro.
Yeah, I figure I'll let you guys cook, because sometimes the kitchen needs it. I don't want too many. I don't want to have too many chefs in the kitchen. That's all I'm trying to do. That's all I'm saying. Okay. For me, and I mentioned him yesterday on the air, Jamie. I think we've been waiting for him to have a breakout game, and he's due for one, and that's at the also at the wideout position.
Yep.
Also a special teamer in Samaj Morgan.
Yeah.
I think all the keyboard cronies have been out there, all the Twitter trolls, the X going to give it to you just to get the hell out of there, guys.
Mm-hmm.
He reads the stuff. We all read the stuff.
He does.
And one of these times, he's going to put your nose right back into that excrement that you put out there on the socials, and you can come back and go, I'm sorry. I apologize.
Mm-hmm.
And I hope it's this week.
Right.
And it turns into this week, and it turns into next week, and it turns into the most important week of them all, the Saturday after Thanksgiving.
Right.
So let this be the first week that Samaj Morgan steps up and becomes that guy. Let him show up at Wrigley, look across the field, look at the stands of haters that were talking some you-know-what to him, and say, I'm that guy. I'm him. I'm Timothy Chalamet.
Well, Jamie, as I put things together, as Thomas, as I usually do every week, I think the offensive line should get their similarity together and have their vociferous attitude toward the one guy, the center in the middle of attention. And I think that's what we're going to have to do. And I'm doing my Thomas Glines impression right now because we miss him and we think we need him there. And I cannot use the big words that he used. So I will turn it back over to you, Jamie. Thank you, big bro.
We're gonna pontificate everything that comes around on the ground game. And then by the end of it, hopefully we're all celebrating over at Moe's Cantina or wherever the hell we're going to be celebrating at. Maybe you can join me over at Frazier's Pub. We'll have ourselves a couple bevs and, host a good classical of some good brown liquor,
Miz, did you play my opening song, my Stevie Ray Vaughan song?
I forgot to pull that one out, but bum bum bum. Bum, 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 bum.
You guys are nuts. You guys are nuts.
We got to wild somehow, so might as well wild out this way.
Exactly. It's got to be somebody somewhere. We got to pick. You got to take a player. You got to look,
or somebody for that matter.
We need somebody to step up and step out and get. But wow. Get out there and do your thing.
I say it's Chip. Chip gotta be that difference maker on the play call and to get it to these folks that you guys are talking about.
No, you're right. Because McCulley, I know he got hurt in that Purdue game and he walked off and he went up into the tunnel. I remember that. And I need that young man to come on back. Come on back, do your thing. You health. Hopefully you healthy, you ready to ball out, dog, because we need you. Remember they were calling him out, Miz? I mean, they were calling him out, and he finally came through. He had a breakout game.
Right.
I need a game like that. That's what I need. I need a game like that. I need a game like that.
And I think one of those guys in the wide receiver room is going to have one of those breakout games. But, it's just a matter of, who's going to step up and show out and be that guy. And it's just a matter of time. I know it's extremely highly doubtful for it to happen, but I would like to see Justice on the sideline. You sent Larry and I the stat on the Big Ten.
Dude, it's crazy, isn't it?
Justice Hayes still is third place in total rushing yards in the Big Ten. And he's missed how many games?
Yes. Most 3 games.
You can tell, but if he didn't have that, if Justice doesn't have that injury, you're looking at a potential Doak Walker, finalist right there.
Yes.
And thanks, Alabama. Thanks for giving him up, and we gonna treat him good, just like how Green Bay decided to treat first swag Kazakage, wrong, and we brought him over here to Detroit, and he said they treat us good, they feed us right. Man, it's like getting a new girlfriend. We gonna treat them right. Because that's what Michigan does. Doesn't matter if it's Detroit or Ann Arbor. We're going to treat them right.
734-998-1050. 734-998-1050. Hadley, what's up, man?
Hey, what's up, my man? Where's Mustafa? Is he hanging out on the bridge or what?
I don't know. He'll call up when he calls.
When he call, man. What?
Well, no,
why you gotta call? Why you gotta call people out, man? You call. You do what you gotta do, player.
Yeah. Oh, he's the number one man. So we need his insight. I want to find out how he feels about this Michigan State scandal thing. Oh my gosh, he must be jumping with joy. Wouldn't you think so, Jamie?
I think so. I think he is. And I think he would love the way they made it, hey, if you are an ineligible player and you play in games, we will vacate your wins. Vacate your wins. If you don't, if you're good to go and you do something wrong, oh, well, we're going to do this, and we're going to fine you. We're going to fine you.
I find it interesting with Ira. When I listened to him this morning, he was asking Ohio State, they had to vacate some games with Tattoo Gate.
They did.
Penn State had to vacate some games with their little thing, but Michigan's never had to vacate any games.
Well, at least they were legal. Their players were legal to play. They were not illegal to play. That being said,
Well, I'll tell you who has to step up, and I'm sorry I can't think of his name offhand, but who's our normal punter?
Punter 1. I don't know. I don't have the roster up
Hold
in
on,
front
I gotta
of me.
look for the roster.
I'm getting it right now, actually. So it's the guy that was a soccer player. That's what I can remember, at least. He was a soccer player turned punter. As I've kind of milked this out, trying to scroll through here, special teams does need to step up. We'd love to see. We would love to see, Zavada step himself back up.
Zavada would be good.
But Hudson Hallenbeck, should be should have himself a game at least. So yeah, there you go, Hudson Hallenbeck.
All right, appreciate that. Does he handle kickoffs too, or just punts?
I think he just does the punting.
I can't remember. I don't know.
Well, anyway, Jamie, he's the one that's got to step up.
So you need the punter to step up. You need the punter to step up.
He has not done well, and other punters that we've had in the past, and especially against that Purdue game, he kept shanking them and 20-yard punts and whatever. Yeah, he's got to do that. And if you remember, Jamie, when you talk to Gary tomorrow, ask him with the punting, is a wind going to affect this any?
I will. Okay.
Because he said the winds are going to be pretty strong at times. So, that's going to affect the punting in one way or another. And if he shanks one off his foot and it goes 10 yards, not good.
Yeah.
But I think he's the one. What about Barnum? Is he supposed to play?
I have no clue. I would imagine that he should be good to go, but obviously we'll know more tomorrow but Saturday when the injury report comes out an hour before. So this is a friendly reminder to listen to the CHAP on-site fielding countdown to kickoff live from Moe's Cantina on Saturday, starting at 8:00 Eastern Time, 7 Central, right here on the Big 1050 WTK. And when the injury report comes out at around 10 o'clock tomorrow on Saturday, you will know, just like every single one of us.
Answer this question for me. How come the NFL can release a injury report to let everybody in the world know who's injured, but the college, I know college does it too, but they seem to be very secretive about who's injured and who can't play and all that stuff. And I just wonder why that is. Is it because of fantasy football?
No, I think with the pro stuff, it's more of I'll be honest, Adley, I have no clue. I think it's you could probably get away with not releasing an injury report until the day before a game if you wanted to, but I don't know why it's different in the NFL compared to college. Close to it.
But the NFL, it supposedly is very strict thing and a rule, and a lot of coaches are figuring out ways to get around it.
Doesn't practice have a lot to do with it in terms of if they're allowed on the field, if they're not available, Larry? If that's the case with the NFL,
yes. Yep, and who practices and who doesn't, and but everything is what am I trying to say? Everything is can be bypassed, and the NFL try to keep it stern by finding teams that don't do it properly or don't report an injury, that kind of thing. So I think NFL takes it a lot more serious than the NBA than the college, and I think that is because of gambling, and what the ramifications behind it. So I don't know why on the collegiate level it's not as serious as it is on the NFL level.
Miz, have you've been to Wrigley Field before?
I've been there for a couple of baseball games. For a couple of Cubby games, but obviously this would be a first for football.
So do you have to drag that big old desk to Chicago, or you guys got other setup?
Oh, hell no. I'm not. Listen, the last time I was a solo act to move that big old desk that you may see on game, when you come up for tailgate or have seen in other appearances. Last time I was a solo person, I threw my back out, and that would be a hell no.
Wait a minute. Are you taking the desk?
No.
Okay, good.
No,
good.
the fine folks at Moe's Cantina are gracious enough to give us a couple of high top tables to do our broadcast from. So that is good there. So I am bringing a cover to show that we are the Big 1050, and that's really about it.
Okay, I just making sure. That's a good question.
Yeah, no, I'm not bringing that thing around. Nope. I'm not renting a U-Haul to go get it from Joe's garage to try to load it up by myself and all that stuff. Nope. I'm utilizing what they are providing us over there at Moe's.
And this is an inside joke, but Devin Gardner's not riding with you, is he?
No, he's not. I don't know what game he's got on Saturday, but even if he was, me and my boy DG, I might be the one that provide him with beef jerky.
Wow.
Because that's boys being boys.
Larry Lee, what's happening, my man? Are you on with us tomorrow?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
I'm on with you tomorrow.
I know you've been going out here for LA for the winter for quite a few years, I know. So I don't know if you've been asked this. Are you used to watching college football at 9 a.m. in the morning?
You know what? I don't know if you've heard me say this on the air a bunch of times. That's one thing I do love about being out here on the West Coast. When you wake up in the morning, say 9 o'clock, you can watch football, pro, college. As soon as you wake up, you can watch the college game day and watch all the antics on that and everything. That's the best part about it all.
Well, Larry, I can do the same thing. I can go to bed at 4 a.m. and wake up by noon. So there you go.
Yeah, but there's something about as soon as you wake up, man, and you turn on the TV and you can see a game in progress and or see a college game day or all the Fox TV on Saturday and Sunday, man. It's a beautiful thing out here. That's what I love. One of the things I do love.
Yeah, I know, and I bet you do love it. And that's why I asked if you were on tomorrow, because I wanted to get your impression about your game Saturday, and that should be interesting. All right, we'll talk to you guys then.
All right, Hadley.
Hi, Hadley.
UCLA, fight.
Who are they? That's right. I was about to say who they play, and I forgot.
They got the Buckeyes in Columbus.
They got the Buckeyes.
Yep.
They're in Columbus.
Yeah, I'm surprised.
Once upon a time, that would have been a great game, but
I'm surprised that they're not.
I digress.
I'm surprised Ohio State fans aren't complaining about the fact that it's a night game.
Yeah, but they won a night game, remember, Miz?
But it's in November.
It's a night game.
It's mid-November. It's going to be cold. Oh, we're going to get the flu.
They can drink all day, Miz. They can drink all day. That's all they care about.
Maybe my boys can soften them up for you guys coming up in a couple of weeks.
I'm okay. I'm cool with that. Yeah.
Okay.
I'm okay with that. Yeah. Let's make that happen. We tried to do the best we could with your cross state.
The key word in that phrase was maybe.
I mean, we tried. It didn't work out all that well for us.
It's not. You know what? That's not always. It's good though. It's good. It's all good. It'll be all good
in the
Buckeyes in the horseshoe. Well, the toilet bowl, as you guys call it.
Yeah, that's what I call it. You got that. That's what's hip. I'm hip with that. 734-998-1050. Give us a call if you want. Hey, did you guys see? Miz, your guy won. He won his second one in a row.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Tarek Skubal back-to-back.
Is this his last? Is this his
last?
Gotta
pay him now.
Well, I mean, they're going to trade him now.
Stop putting that juju in the
I'm
universe.
not trying to. No, I'm not saying.
You are.
I'm not. I'm really not. But hey, look, If they had the chance, they had the chance earlier this year. They had the chance.
That is an interesting thought. That is an interesting thought. If you're the Tigers management and you got this guy, you can make your team better by going to get maybe 3, 4, 5 players for him, or do you pay him?
See, here's the thing. I mean, don't get me wrong. I am open to the cut a blank check,
right,
and tell that man how many zeros.
Yes, I agree with you.
I've
agree.
Pounded the desk about that,
but they're not going to do that.
Again, I've said this many times, and I know his sister is a regent here at U of M,
right?
But knowing the history of Chris Ilitch, yeah, he probably will not do it, and he might give up Tarek Skubal for a bucket of Cracker Jack.
And what I'm saying is that might not be all bad.
It's all bad.
It's just
That's
another it's another chapter of the Tigers give away amazing talent for nothing.
It's your staple.
Okay, guys, put your executive hat on. If I can get 4 qualified guys,
I want to get his executive hat too.
Put your executive. There you go.
All right, wrong team, but you know.
Yes, Mr. Missler. Now, I have 4 number 1 draft picks for your Mr. Screwball. I'd like to know your response to that.
In baseball, that's going to be a no, dog. That's going to be a no, dog. Thank you, but thanks, but no thanks.
I'm just going to
4 number 1 draft picks, sir.
Thanks, but no thanks. I want talent now.
Okay.
I want talent now.
So we need to go to a break.
By the way, before we go to break, 2 things. One. On March 27th at 3:21 p.m., Jamie Morris said the New York Yankees would win the AL pennant. So I didn't
win. Win.
In a response to Derek Robinson, who posted on YouTube, we don't want to see Hudson, meaning Hudson Heldenbeck, the punter. So I agree with that. You know,
that's a true statement.
The only Hudson Hollenbeck highlights I want coming from Saturday is him going,
holding it and kicking, and Zabata doing his job. Got it.
And shaking hands.
Yeah.
That's all I want. I agree with you, D. I see you, D. Rob.
Told you about going independent. Stop saying that. We ain't going independent. We'll find another conference before we go independent.
We'll start our own conference with blackjack and other stuff. In fact, forget the blackjack and forget the other independent conference.
There you go. We need to go to Philly E. You can call back because we're going to a break right now, and we'll come back on the other side. Your guy, who's that one guy that you are thinking that can be the game changer for Michigan on Saturday? You're listening to the M Zone on the Big 1050.
This is the M Zone.
God,
they're on radio.
All I know is Tarek Skubal should be in a Tiger uniform for the rest of his life. Just like they did Miggy, excuse me. That's what they should do to Skubal. And he's getting effed up because of a divorce or because of they don't want to do any damage.
I don't know why Chris Ilitch is being very frugal with money. I don't get it. I really don't get it. And Mr. or Mrs. Less Toast Media, yes, the phones are open. You can call
in. You know, I think it might have something to do with the divorce.
If it's Philly E, that's less of Let's Toast Media.
It's not Philly E.
It would be hilarious if it was.
It would be.
It would be hilarious.
My God, I would fall out in my chair. I swear.
Like, my goodness, are you for real?
I would fall out in my chair if it is him. That being said, look, if Tarek Skubal does not get re-signed here, you will set the Lions back. You will set the Tigers back another 6-8 years.
Depends on what you can get for him.
No. You've got to, if you're going to do that, you have to get a combination of talent now and talent for the future.
Exactly.
Because he's still young. He's still in his late 20s.
You look. It's a Verlander move. It's a Verlander move.
Oh, it's beyond a Verlander
it's
move.
Verlander.
It's beyond
all over again.
I was going to bring Verlander. I was going to bring that in the equation. Now, though, what is that number for him?
It's 50. It's probably 50 million. Maybe 75, 80, maybe. Look, whatever it is, it ain't enough.
Man, that's a strong statement. Whatever it is, it ain't enough.
Listen to me. What did the Toronto Blue Jays pay? Oh boy, what did they pay him?
You got to define old boy.
What's his name? It's Vladdy.
Vlad Guerrero.
Yeah. How much did they pay him?
Let's see here. Let me go to the old contract. Let's go to.
I think he got like.
Go to my favorite site, Sport Track. Vlad Guerrero Jr. It's a 14-year, I believe it's 500 mil.
Exactly. Is that enough? I'm just look.
Which I'm
so if they duplicated that deal, is that enough for Screwball?
I think it is. That man, he just wants to be here in Detroit. You understand? Did you read the letter the man sent to the city of Detroit?
Yeah.
Did you read that right? There's not an athlete, whether it's Jared Goff, Amon-Ra St. Brown, anybody. They're not that guy. That is that guy. He represents Detroit. He represents Detroit.
I agree. So are you better off with the one guy in himself or a combination of a few other guys that can make your team better?
Play with him. There are players that want to play with him. There are players out there that want to play with him. They just need to do. They need to do. That guy gives you a win every time he pitches.
I hear your point because back in the day, I used to say we had a hell of a bargaining chip with Barry Sanders that we never used. I
would say this. Look, Barry was, and he kept coming back for the shit.
We had a bargaining chip
for this shitty team that he had in front of him. He kept coming back.
We had a bargaining chip. I'm telling you, I used to go to Super Bowls and different things and run into players all the time. Lorenzo Neal, you remember Lorenzo?
Yeah, I remember Lorenzo Neal, the fullback.
One of the best in the league at the time, if not the best. I was at a Super Bowl. Lorenzo came up to me one time and said, Larry, look, man. He says, man, I've talked to Parcells. He was with the Jets at the time.
Yep.
I talked to Parcells. He'll take a 6th-round draft pick for me. Man, y'all come get me because I want no. He said this. He said, I'll give my left nut to block for Barry Sanders.
Dude, I mean, that right there.
We're off the air.
Right there should tell you that that's a real man.
That's what he said.
You want to ball with greatness. Yeah. You want to ball with greatness.
So I hear you. I'm just causing a little riff, just to talk about it. But I hear you. When you got a guy that everyone loves, the city loves, and he earned the right to get paid, you pay that man, and you build around him, because he's young enough. Because he's young enough.
Yeah, coming back from break. Stand by.
This is the M Zone.
And welcome back to the M Zone. Jamie Morris, Matt the Hitman Missler, best guy in the Bizzler, and you got the left coast one. I know he's warm. He's in the sun and he's doing what he does. That's Larry Lee. He ain't blocking nobody. He can block that sun right now, though.
We don't need you to bring that sun back over this way because, we're about 20, 30 degrees cooler than you right now, Big Ben. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah. As I said the other day, I'm going to go get my igloo cooler with my cold water and liquids and partake.
It must be nice. It must be.
All I'm gonna say is, and this is the last thing I say about Screwball. Look, he is what Detroit is about. He was gritty. He did everything. Teams that didn't want him. He remembers the teams that didn't want him. Tigers took a chance on him. He delivered. Now, you going to deliver back, or you just going to use him and trade him like bait?
I hear you.
I mean, at these, they got meetings coming up soon.
Yeah, the winter meetings come up, I believe, at the beginning of January.
Right.
Like the end of December, beginning of January. I think it's beginning of January. But the thing about it is that I don't want another repeat of what we've had in trade deals gone awry in years past.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, when the Tigers shipped off Verlander to Houston, we only got one prospect that actually was worth a damn that came out of it. The rest of the other, because we ended up getting three prospects, one of which eventually got shipped off to the Cubs. The other two never saw the light of day at the pros. You can kind of go down the line. Scherzer, I believe he was a free agent. That one, we kind of goofed up on that one, where you could have gotten at least maybe a year contract at least, and maybe shipped him at the trade deadline, make him a little bit of a trade bait if needed. Then you look at position players where Martinez was a big one that I'm still upset over, that we sent him down to Arizona. He was one of the best bats and, fielders that we had for a bit. And again, 3 prospects, only one of which saw the light of day in Detroit, and then he got shipped out. And the other 2 had never saw the light of day. The only trade so far that the Tigers have had in recent history that actually has given us anything is the trade that we made last year with Jack Flaherty, where we got a shortstop
right
when Javi Baez was dealing with his injury,
when he got hurt. Yep.
You've got a couple of prospects that are right on the brink of coming up to the pros. They're close to making it to the show. And then you finish up the season, and what happens? Hey, man, thanks for getting us prospects. Come back home. We know you missed him.
They did bring him
and
back.
he came back home.
Yeah.
So that was the one trade that worked out. So one thing about Scott Harris, at the very least, that I can say, guy did okay with that trade. He did pretty good with that trade. But if you're going to ship off the first 2-time, back-to-back AL Cy Young winners since Pedro Martinez back in 99 and 2000, I need talent now that'll help me win now and give me some more promise for the future. So I need both of those things if you're going to try to deal anything for Tarik Skubal during winter meetings or any time in the next future. If not, cut the check blank. Say, how many zeros do you want at the end of your contract? And let's talk business. Scott Boras, get the hell out of the room. Let's if I'm Scott Harris, the baseball ops for the Tigers, I'm saying, Scott Boras, get the hell out of my office. I'm talking to my man right now. Mano y mano, man to man. No BS, no age. You can have your agent come and take a look at the contract afterwards, but let's talk business because we want you here in Detroit.
I don't know if that'll happen, Miz.
I know it won't happen. I'd love for it to happen, but I know it ain't going to happen.
Right,
because agents get in the way of this stuff.
Yeah.
And Scott Boras is one of the worst because he wants his talent to be under the bright, shiny lights of insert large media outlet here. He wants him in pinstripes. He wants him out by you over there playing for the Doyers. He wants him playing in the big marketplaces. He doesn't want him in Detroit, but we want him in Detroit because we found the talent that he had up in Seattle when he played for U.S. Seattle. We brought him here. We molded him. He's our guy. Kind of like how JV was. He was our guy.
Right.
So
well, there's two lanes of theory. One is, what you could, like you said, like what you could possibly get for him. But then on the other hand, you do want to set the precedent that if you come here and you play well, you will get rewarded.
Exactly.
So that's, I told you, like I said off the air, I know we got callers and everything, but off the air, we had a bargaining chip back in the day with Barry Sanders that we never used. I used to go to Super Bowls and various meetings. And players would come up to me all the time. Larry, man, get me to Detroit, man. I want to block. I want to be in the same backfield as Barry Sanders. I want to do this with Barry Sanders. I want to do that with Barry Sanders. And so, you kind of, use that bargaining chip. So it's a tough spot to be in. But if you want to set the precedent that if you do well, which the Lions do now, Brad Holmes has done a good job of, paying Aiden and Panay and all those guys that deserve to get paid. They're getting paid, and that's the precedent that's being set there, which I think the Tigers could learn a lesson from that.
There you go.
734-998-1050. 734-998-1050.
Can I take my GM hat off, by the way?
You can take you can take all
right, thank you much.
I can talk regular now. At first I was talking, on masterful.
We're talking business-like.
Business minded.
Philly, what's up, man? How you doing?
Hey, what's up, fellas? First things first. Here's the guy I want to step up. I want Mr. Klein to step up. He's been on a milk carton all freaking year.
He's been hurt, Philly. He's been hurt.
Yeah, I know. But, regardless of the reason,
I got you.
I want him to come back to full strength because, Loveland used to say that this kid could really run. And Loveland was a first-round pick. So if we could get him to run the seam, I think it'll open up a lot of things for our wideouts. That's number one. Number two, the best that we've seen Bryce look all year, I guess it had something to do with me showing up to the game, right?
if you'd like to say that, sure. Why not?
You already know I'm a rabbit's foot when I walk in that joint. You already know my record. It's impeccable. The best he's looked all year, the tight ends. The third and fourth tight ends stepped up. And Klein is our number one. So it stands to reason if Klein steps up this week, that will help Bryce look how Bryce looked against Washington. At least that's my theory on it. So the other thing is, we saw Bryce under center, and I kind of brought up, three-step yesterday. But, you stop and think about it. We're either in shotgun or in pistol. Boy, I don't know if you guys remember, but he was actually under center versus New Mexico. And they've never returned to that. And I just feel as though, and Jamie, you already know where I'm going with this, in third and fourth and short, you want your 6'4", 235-pound freaking quarterback to threaten the first 36 inches because that is what's most important. Not taking a snap flat-footed, handing it to another flat-footed guy. I don't get football today on short yardage. I just don't. And people must understand football and short yardage and goal line are two completely different. It's completely apples and oranges. And I don't know when these freaking offensive coordinators are going to get that through their thick friggin' head. And yeah, I'm talking to KOC too out in Minnesota. He's another dope that wants to throw on 3rd and 1. Anyway.
What up, Kev?
Yeah, he's pissing me off. He really is. Yeah, we're going to have our rookie throw 48 times, who's coming off an injury. Meanwhile, your friggin' running backs are averaging 6 yards a carry, and we're just going to run a 13. I mean, come on, stop with this. Anyway.
Stop it. Get some help.
So that's where I'm at with that anyway. I want to see Klein, or if not Klein, another tight end, return to what we've seen in the Washington game, and I think that will help Bryce. That's number one. Number two, you guys were talking about this, and this was burning my ass this morning. Okay? I saw the tape. I'm watching come under the screen. Little thing. Paul Skeens wins the Cy Young.
Yeah.
And what was the big deal that they were talking about? They were talking about NFL drama. That A.J. Brown's pissed off that he's not getting the ball.
Right.
It's like.
That's your place. You live there. It should have went crazy. You're about to lose your best player.
This is Cohen and Kenny in the morning. This is national. And here's what bugs me. Baseball doesn't get it. What do you think you are? You think this is LeBron announcing, I'm going to take my talents to freaking South Beach so they can hold the league can be in everybody's mind for an entire summer? Dude, the World Series, the Dodgers, they're a one-day story. After 2 days later, nobody was talking about the best World Series ever played because that's how the media views baseball today. And again, they set the precedent. Now, you're trying to tell me now that you want to announce all these important awards a month later in the middle of November with football, college football, and basketball back in like they don't get it. They don't get it. They got to stop this nonsense. They got to stop it. As soon as the World Series over, within 72 hours, they need to start naming these friggin' awards. And maybe you'll at least be a story for an entire week and not 20. This is in 1978, dude. It's just not. The media and the country does not view baseball the same way. So the fact that they sit there and announce this crap in the middle of November is an absolute joke because this is 15 minutes of fame. Now, I know it's a big deal in Detroit because your guy won, but that's it. Nationally, nobody cares. It's scrolling along the bottom of the screen while they're talking about A.J. Brown. I mean, give me a break. So they need to wake up and smell the freaking coffee. Baseball's got to do something about that. And in terms of they've been talking about this all week, and it's really kind of bugging me that nobody's brought it up. They keep talking about this freaking number switch that USC pulled, and nobody brought up the fact that in the greatest college football game ever played, the 1984 Orange Bowl, Dave Burke and Mike McCashlin, they literally switched their jerseys during the game. Like, this is the Mona Lisa of number switches, and they're like the greatest game ever played in college football. Nobody brought it up. So I guess it takes a dude like me, an old head like me, to bring this up. But I was disappointed that nobody brought that up. And again, that is just another element that goes into that game. And you already know there needs to be a 30-30 on that game because the impact that game had, all the backstories involved in that game. I know everybody loves USC Texas, and it was great, but it didn't have the impact on college football and the ideology and recruiting and rate. I mean, you name it. 84, blue blood versus new school, old school option out of the eye versus a pro passing game from a redshirt freshman. You never, ever saw that in the 70s and 80s. You trying to tell me now you have a redshirt freshman that's ripping apart the supposedly the team of the century? The only teams that threw in those days consistently like that was BYU and a little bit of USC, but not like a true freshman or redshirt freshman. Anyway, that's enough of that. I'm just saying that game to me is the greatest. And what's his name? Mr. Sweet.
Yeah.
The name that rankled my ass last week, by the way.
Uh-oh. What's that?
You dropped the name Gary Burley.
Yes.
You're a Minnesota Viking fan. Any true Viking fan that's at least my age knows that Fran Tarkenton was in a game where he was 17 for 17, and he ignited a sputtering offense at 37 years of age for a 42-10 victory over the Bengals. The problem was Francis had to leave the game because Gary Burley broke his leg, which forced him to come back an extra year. But it also ruined the NFC Championship game of that year because instead of starting Fran Tarkenton in Dallas, we started Bob Lee. How do you think that went?
I remember that.
Yeah.
I remember that. Yeah, GB. You know what? I still talk to Gary Burley.
17 of 18, and what bugs me about this, his incompletion was an intentional grounding, so he wouldn't take a loss. So, me personally, if it was a pen, they shouldn't even count it. To me, he was 17-17. So anyway.
For you, Philly, I'm going to call Gary and see if we can get him on the show one of these times.
You, Gary Burley, really? You went just to piss me off, really? 12-year-old's heart.
I still talk to GB every now and then.
I was 11. No, that was 5th grade. That was 5th grade. So anyway, that's why Tarkenton ended up coming back another year in 78. I think he was going to retire that year if he had finished that year out in 77. But anyway. So I'm just going to have to see, but yeah, the tight end, baby. That's where I'm at with that. Anyway, I know you boys got to close the show. Talk to y'all tomorrow. Go Blue.
All right, Philly.
Thanks, Philly. Appreciate it, bro. Appreciate it. I know we talked about a lot of things. And
there was a lot that we talked about today. Yeah.
Exactly. We got a lot in. And that's been my frustration. I'm sorry. I do like Screwball. I think he is the epitome of
but
Detroit.
I want to dissect all possibilities before I just give him a blank check.
Do what you do.
I'm gonna do my due diligence.
Yeah, well, we'll see. Because you're gonna come up with one thing. I'm gonna tell you this. You're gonna come up with one thing. As Miz said, let him go.
Pay the man.
Either pay the man or let him go.
It's the thing. I mean, if they can if they can find a way to, like I said, the only way I would be okay with a trade happening is that you have to have someone or a couple of players to help you now and a prospect or two that you can look at and say, these guys can help me in the future. It's not going to be as simple as, here's Terry Skubal, give us your top prospects, because that's not going to work out. When you look at other organizations, the Yankees are a prime example. They throw the money out because they've got that with their market and the luxury tax that comes with it. But in terms of like their minor league system, trash.
Yeah.
Trash. I want someone that I get, again, I'm going to need players that are going to help me now and in the future. And if I can't get that from any of the other 29 franchises in baseball, then I'm saying, Scoops, come on into the office. Let's talk business. You want to bring Scott Boras with you? That's fine. But here's a check. I want you to write down the number. Write down a number. And let's make this work out.
All right.
Yeah, look.
And you did it without your general manager's hat on too.
Yeah, I mean that's his general manager mind. It's in his head.
It's not the hat. It's not the hat.
He's dealt with this. This is Detroit.
I've experienced this in my short lifetime of going, and here comes the heartbreak once again. Here it comes again. It's almost like after a Pistons victory, it's like, all right, when's this text from E Boogie coming in? Where's it? Oh, there it is. There it is. There it is. There's a picture of him sending a picture of Cade Cunningham again, saying that the Pistons won again. I know. I watched it surprisingly this time. I saw it. I seen it. But it's just that's kind of how it's been. Speaking of things, before we get out of here, guys, I don't know if you caught the news from the Lions, not player wise or personnel wise. They got a new person in charge of the Thanksgiving halftime show and the production for it.
Really?
And guess who they got? Guess who the halftime entertainment is? I know you want to leave me, but I refuse to let you go. Got it?
The Temptations are going to be
the Temptations.
Yep. Yeah. But the person in charge of getting everything set up, at least for the next 2 seasons, some guy by the name of Marshall Mathers.
Really?
Y'all know him best as Slim Shady.
Is he going to show
Eminem.
up? Is he going to show up?
You best believe he's going to show up.
I hope
you got to lose yourself in the moment to own it. You never let it go. You only get one shot to not get your chance to blow. This opportunity comes once in a lifetime. Did I get it right?
I think he's trying to follow suit with Jay-Z with what he's doing with the halftime show for the Super Bowl.
So he should. We
with the Temptations. He's doing a good.
It's an embarrassment to Detroit. I mean, if Dallas can do a better halftime show. I mean, come on.
Yeah.
What's an embarrassment? The Temptations?
No. The past halftime show.
Oh yeah, I agree.
Yeah, because I mean, don't get me wrong. I mean, the younger demographic, they probably know who Jack Harlow is. But for the most part, no one gives a rusty you-know-what about Jack Harlow because he has nothing to do with Detroit. Give us something that's going to relate to the crowd. Give us something that's going to relate to the hometown.
Well, what was the other guy? Shambuzi or whatever his name is.
They went with that.
I like Shabuzi. Got one song, though.
One song. Yeah, I'm going to tell you, I know we got to get up, but, back in the day, I tried to get Prince as the halftime. I talked to his people, and Prince wanted $1 million to do the halftime show for the Lions.
Yeah, that's Prince.
William Clay Ford didn't want to do it, but I would have given that money.
We gotta go because we got another show on the other side. You're listening to not us.
Nope, just going back to CBS Sports and Infinity Sports. I'm sorry,
Infinity Sports. You're listening to the M Zone.
Jets Patriots later tonight
on the Big 1050.
I know you want to leave me.